We are live.
Already? That was quick.
Yeah, I just have to hit 3 buttons. Beauty of
BZ Master Race.
Radeon Relive, bruh. As much as I actually
Xbox does that too.
as much as I actually don't like it compared to OBS, it is quite simple and easy to use, which is handy. I wish they let you do multiple profiles for streaming sites and shit though, because like if you hit the YouTube, you log into YouTube. What's up, GoGet? And then you're all set for YouTube, which is nice because I've got the Game Talk on YouTube. But then like if I want to do Twitch and I hit the Twitch one, it takes you off of the YouTube one. And then you've got to re-enter all the, if you want to go back to YouTube, then you got to re-enter all the info and put in your password and shit. I wish they just would let you like set up a couple of, you know, like this YouTube thing, and you just hit it and it automatically does it all for you. But
Yep.
whatever, you know, it works, and I just, as soon as I get OBS set up, I'll just probably use that. So what's good, guys? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, man. All besides being sick, I'm doing good. That and I have occipital neuralgia, which is the nerve from the back of my skull over to the right part of my up to the top of my right eye gets inflamed.
Ooh.
And it feels like it's like ripping my fucking head off. Like I can't, like nothing. It has to be dark. It has to be like I have to sit still.
Almost
everything
like a
has to be
migraine or
just perfect.
something.
Yeah, it's like worse than a migraine.
Yeah.
And so that's been happening. Like every time I go to bed, I'll wake up like a couple hours later with a headache. I'll try to get rid of it. I'll get rid of it, go back to bed, wake up with a headache. So I mean, I've been like dealing with that for the past 2 or 3 days. Like it's been fucking miserable. That, you know, along with being sick is just not two combinations you want to have happen.
Yeah. What about you, Shane?
Dude, my baby just started crying. Hold on.
Fucking Shane.
I always have to leave. Like babies are important. I mean, shouldn't she know not to cry by the time she's 1? I don't think he's raising her right. We have to talk to him.
Right. Interesting. What about that, YouTube?
I had to go in there and get my amoxicillin, so I had to be quiet. Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
As far as like announcements and shit like that. Spider-Man got a release date.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of information released too.
Yeah. It will be like 4K 30 on Pro and 1080p 30 on base PS4. Which
And
I'm
locked
okay
to
with
30 for everything, which is kind of a dick punch, but
well, I mean, it's not going anywhere besides PS4 anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're kind of used to the 30 frames per second.
What's up, Omega Jim?
What's up? And the thing, and today also Xbox announced that they had 1.13 billion hours spent gaming in the last 7 days.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah, I don't know really. Just a useless stat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, we got a PlayStation giving us dates for games, and Xbox giving us numbers for how many hours people game.
Yeah.
The state of the industry is for them it's almost like they're just chicken with their head cut off.
Well,
I
it
don't
would
know
be
which way it's up right now.
now. That's one. It was 1 point how many billion hours?
1.14, something like that.
And that was over
The past 7 days.
so what? Yeah, 1 week. I would.
Yeah, but that's across everybody playing on
Yeah, and that's the
Xbox and
thing.
Windows.
How many people were playing? Because that would actually be an interesting stat if they gave that, because then that would give you the average
Yeah,
time.
you would
Yeah.
that, and you would also be able to get about how many Xboxes they sold, or a closer amount.
Because that might actually show
because
people something, if it's
They
the
won't
right
do that,
number, and
though.
it's people are the average time spent is like to 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day. It's like, hey, that's
Yeah.
a lot of engagement. But yeah, it's if that's a whole bunch of players and they're only playing 1 hour a week, it's like, yeah, okay, that's
big deal,
right. Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of we had 100 million people walk into Walmart today.
Yeah.
Okay, but what do they walk out with?
Right.
Nothing?
Yeah. What was the
Exactly.
average dollar
Yeah.
amount spent? Oh, $1.23. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. No big deal then. I don't give a shit how many people you have walking in the
Everybody
door.
bought an aspirin. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I mean, I don't know. Microsoft is really big on sharing like engagement numbers, but they don't ever give you like the engagement that you really want. Like any way to break it down to how many sales that they had, and so you can tell they're losing like big time.
Yeah.
Because of the way they put out the news, like Sea of Thieves was a top seller,
Right.
the brand new IP, top new IP for Xbox. But it was compared to a game that sold less than 400,000 in the first week prior to it. So,
And that's not exactly the best thing if Sea of Thieves is one of your top sellers.
yeah. I mean,
mean,
because it could have did 451,000 and been a top seller.
yeah, but just even
that's not
just
really
that game, like, man, people must be hard up because
and that's such a bad precedent.
yeah, that's a
'Cause that's
bad
showing,
game to be your top seller.
Yeah, your gamers are so fucking hard up for a game they bought a 10% finished game. That's sad.
Yep. Yeah, Omega Jim, that crazy bitch that not hilariously, just like a woman to even fail at a mass shooting, injured I think 3 people but killed nobody except for herself.
Yeah, there's also one guy in critical condition, but it was over her demonetization.
Yep. And it's funny too, because she's I don't know if she's Muslim. I couldn't.
Yeah, she is.
She is? Okay. I didn't see any confirmation on that, but she was.
Well, I mean, the name. I was going by the name. She looks
okay,
like.
yeah. Well, I mean, she's definitely Iranian.
Yeah, obviously, I have no idea like her religion, but I mean, because they've not said her religion.
Right.
But I'm guessing by her name, the way she looks, and where she's from, that she's definitely a Muslim.
Yeah, I think
it'd be hard. It'd be really hard to believe that she's not.
I do believe she's Iranian, and I know she's vegan, and a PETA member.
There's already 2 fucking crazy people.
Yeah, and man, the real bad thing was let's see if I can find.
Was she a feminist?
I don't know. They didn't say.
That would have been like a cherry on top.
Oh, right. But
Maggie Jim said she was an animal rights activist.
Yeah.
Yeah, PETA.
Vegan and a member of
PETA. We're talking about the YouTube shooter, Chris. The one that walked into YouTube's office and shot up the place.
Yeah, so Mashable here puts out a picture off of her Instagram or something, and they picked the one picture of hers where she lightened her face with a filter and changed her eye color to green instead of brown.
Well, of course they did, because they wanted her to be painted as a white person.
I mean, fuck, man.
they don't want her painted as a Muslim, because if that happens, I mean, that right there just even furthers the Trump, the Trump base or whatever. So they can't have that narrative going. So they're going to do whatever they can to make sure they get pictures that paint her in a white persona.
Yep.
Because there's not really much tone difference between an Iranian and an American, a
Right.
white American.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely a lighter skin. She's not even the you
Yeah.
see the difference on the picture I've got up, and yeah, it's not a huge difference.
Yeah, she's just basically a
Tanned a little.
yeah, basically just like a tan.
But yeah, that's just fucking amazing. That's the second fucking time they've done this. Not they particularly, but a media outlet has either picked an altered picture or altered the picture themselves. I can't remember who was the last one. It was
I forgot who.
it was that guy
Chris,
they picked the
they
black
did-
and white photo for.
Chris, they did piss her off because she shot up the place because she felt that she was being discriminated against, and her videos were starting to be demonetized, and she was no longer partnered with the partner program, and so she split, lost it, and thought people should lose their life over the fact that she got demonetized.
And
Fucking crazy motherfuckers.
just like the school shooting, I think her boyfriend or one of her family members called, or no, it was her dad, I think. Her dad called the police and told them that she was going to do this. And they ignored it. So that's the second fucking time.
They actually said that the police tried to come out and go, we had a conversation with the parents, but they never once mentioned she might do something to YouTube headquarters. And they're saying, yes, we did. Yeah, Chris, they said that her uploads, her most recent ones, were like weird and out of character, and it was like a bunch of rants and pissed off and like being upset, and you could tell she was actively upset with YouTube. They took her channel down very quickly, so I never was able to actually get her.
And not just her channel too. I heard
her
like
video.
all
They took
of her
everything
social
down.
media. Yeah, which is
it came down
pissing off
immediately.
investigators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's actually funny though is well, it's not funny, but they actually did not label her as a terrorist, which is good, because I don't think that, I mean, to be a terrorist, you have to have some sort of political or religious motivation.
Right.
And so this might, obviously it's not going to, but shut the left up whenever they say, well, they only label white men as good old boys and not terrorists.
Right. Yeah.
But this is a Muslim woman, and she was not labeled a terrorist because she's not. Yep. They might actually go by terrorist, by the actual fucking definition of terrorist, like what that actually means.
Yep. I think some people have scooped some of her stuff and re-uploaded it, but
yeah, there's some weird shit out there, man.
And yeah,
I don't know if it's really her or what, but like her dancing and stuff is really weird.
Yeah. And they're always looking to take that shit down again, so usually it doesn't last too long.
YouTube's algorithm will catch her facial features, and the only way they're going to be able to keep it up is by blurring out her face to where the algorithm doesn't catch her face.
Yeah, that's. Ugh.
Try to find the news site, because I never got to see any of the clips actually on our site. I saw people like re-uploading stuff, but I wasn't sure if that was actually legit, because when you're doing the re-upload, you never really know.
Yeah. She definitely needed a chill pill, Rajik.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, vegans though, they're fucking crazy.
Vegans are fucking weird, man.
It's the lack of fat, man. Your brain is made of fat. So if you don't eat enough, it starts shrinking. Drives you nuts. Fuck is Shaner?
I don't know. His baby started crying and he never came back.
God damn it, Shaner. Anyways, so hilarious. This is actually New York Times, which is quite hilarious. But Asian Americans are suing Harvard in a class action lawsuit for claiming that the admissions files are showing discrimination. And the thing I like is the group was able to view the documents through its lawsuit, which was filed in 2014, and challenges Harvard's admissions policies. The plaintiff said in a letter to the court last week that the documents were so compelling there was no need for a trial, and that they would ask the judge to rule summarily in their favor based on the documents alone.
Wow.
So that, I mean, they obviously are pretty confident that the evidence they have is pretty conclusive.
It's pretty damning, it sounds like.
Yeah. So obviously the documents aren't public, especially since the lawsuit isn't actually like forward yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see the documents and see what they're talking about. I mean, obviously there's a lot of this kind of discrimination going around. So it
sounds like it's going to be behind the scenes.
Yeah. But
which kind of sucks. I mean, it's good that they're being called out, but it sucks that they're being done behind the scenes because then it doesn't publicly put on display for everybody to see what they did.
Yeah. So hopefully either the judge rules in their favor or they at least get it to go to trial and we get to see what's going on, because, you know, any of the shady shit that we can fucking call out is great. Valve removed Steam Machine section from Steam.
Yeah, they're like cutting ties with it.
Yep. So although they are not, they're still supporting
they're
Linux.
Probably still going to support, yeah.
And
they're
they
still
are
going to support the hardware.
Yeah, and they are because there's two. Let's see. There are two companies that are still making SteamOS type boxes, and let's see. I could have swore this thing had. Maybe not. Could have swore I saw the thing, but so they're still going to be working with Linux though, so that's a good thing because it'd be so great to have more support for gaming on Linux, especially from Steam, you know, the biggest platform.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to move away from a complete Microsoft monopoly is a good thing. But yeah, so Steam Machine is officially dead. Oh, this was kind of interesting. Just another Skyrim on everything. This guy has got PC on the PC Master Race Reddit. He's got a PC version of Skyrim playing on the Vita.
On the Vita?
On the Vita. Yep.
Huh.
Which I just thought was quite great.
That'd be cool if they actually release it on the Vita.
I mean,
why
not?
Sure you can hack it and do it, but I mean, it'd be cool if they, you know, that'd give you a proper game to play while you're out. Although, I mean, I haven't still yet to ever play it. I'd probably buy it on the Vita and still never play it.
Right.
One of these days, I've actually got to play this game to see what the hype is all about.
I like it, but then again, I love Bethesda RPGs.
By the time it comes to toasters is whenever I'll probably play it.
Right.
I'll play it while I'm heating up my bread and be like, fuck, I gotta go kill that dragon.
Yes, the Vita has a PSP emulator built into it.
Yeah.
But since it doesn't
not
have
all of them,
since it doesn't have a UMD port, you cannot just play the discs. And the only games that you can so legally, the only games you can play are the ones that they sell on the store for the Vita.
Yeah.
Which is most of them, but there are some that they didn't.
But if you owned them digitally, they're already yours.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So
On
you
the
don't
store.
you don't have to
Yeah.
rebuy them. Yeah,
Right.
you don't have to buy them again.
Um.
But if you want them physical, you do have to buy them again because they don't have a way to play them physically.
Yes. But now, see, I haven't checked it out lately, but because the hacking situation for the Vita was not going the greatest. They had a couple, they worked okay for certain things, but they were really like super early alpha, and it was nowhere near what you could do with the PSP, which was kind of a shame. But if you did get one of the things that they did have running in the hack fairly well was the emulator portion of the Vita, not the Vita operating system itself. So you couldn't yet run Vita games, but you could run the PSP emulator part, which meant that any game that you could get as a ROM or any uh, not freeware, not what the fuck do they call that? Homebrew. Any homebrew for the PSP, you could also run on the Vita. But I don't know what the current status is. I've seen people say on Craigslist and Facebook that they've got Vitas for sale where they've got 200 Vita games on it.
Oh wow.
And obviously not, they're selling like 4 of them, and I don't think that those are their accounts with those games loaded up. But I still thought that they didn't have that working yet on the Vita, but maybe they do. I don't know. But
I don't know. I don't ever mess with that kind of stuff, so I don't know.
I mean, I love my Vita. It's an awesome system. I really
I
wish
like
they
it.
didn't drop
I
it.
never really take mine with me too much. But I mean, I do enjoy it because it gives me like the platinums and stuff. But I haven't played any game really worth a big long drawn a drawn out thing besides uh, Wolf Among Us
Okay.
and The Walking Dead. Those two I played all the way through, and that was about a 6 to 8 hour game. So that's about as long as I've ever spent on one of the games on a Vita.
Yeah, I've got a couple of I probably got like 10 games on there that I've put at least a few dozen hours into. A couple of really good RPGs. There's a couple of good there's one good first person shooter and a couple good third person shooters. Um, yeah, just awesome fucking system. I just wish they didn't drop support for it. That was a shame. But so Middle Earth Shadow of War is getting
Dude,
rid of.
I am in here.
Oh, I didn't know you were in
Yeah,
there.
now he's here.
Oh, sorry. I had to take care of my baby. She's crying.
You never said, "Oh, I'm back" or nothing like that. So.
Oh, no, I was waiting for you guys to finish. I'm not
And
going to interrupt you
Pete was like just talking forever. So.
Right.
about how he loves his Vita and how you never take your Vita anywhere. Yeah, I've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
The
going down
last minute
Vita
of
lane.
conversation, you managed to catch that. But yeah, Middle Earth Shadow of War is getting rid of
you're a good
microtransactions after 6 months after launch.
Quite honestly, I didn't even mind the microtransactions in there. I never really, whenever I played it, I didn't never feel the need to buy them. A lot of people, whenever I made that video, thought I actually bought microtransactions just to troll people, but that was all done with in-game currency or whatever that I earned by playing it. And so now that they're gone, I mean, it doesn't really change anything for me. But I don't know. I mean, I think people freak out and like take things a little bit too far whenever it comes to those. I can understand why in some instances like EA and Star Wars, but in this game, I didn't see a reason why people were freaking out. I didn't see a reason that there was a big public outcry for this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it and I've not played it, so.
Chris, is actually a really good game. Did you like Shadow of Mordor?
Man,
Shadow of Mordor isn't bad from what I played. I haven't played Shadow of War though.
Yeah, if,
$1,000 on a console, that'd be a lot of money, Spark.
that'd be a hell of a lot of money.
Although that would probably be better than $1,000 for the new iPhone. But then again, you can do more with the iPhone.
Okay, Chris. So since you got the platinum in Mordor, if you like that, you'll like Shadow of War. It's actually just more of the same, but they actually just enhanced it a little bit more, so it's actually more fun. I actually enjoy Shadow of War more than I did Shadow of Mordor. The story and stuff in there, and they got new skills to rank up and stuff.
Didn't you lose like an 80-hour save or some shit?
96 hours. Yep.
Jesus.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah, Shadowkin. I think that's what happened. Is most people were already freaking out about Battlefront 2, so anything else that came out that said loot boxes, they just jumped on.
Well, there's also a lot of legislation starting to. Nothing's come through yet, but there are places trying to pass it. And so there might be some of these companies are trying to proactively nip that in the bud to where if they get rid of the paid microtransactions, they don't have to deal with any of the laws that come out governing them.
That's good.
So, I mean, hey, if it keeps pay to win type loot boxes and shit out of games, I'm happy with that.
I don't mind loot boxes, just the pay to win shit.
Yeah.
Like,
If this just keeps them sticking to Overwatch style stuff, hey, that's a good consumer effort as far as I'm concerned. So this Common Dreams, I've never heard of this website, and I don't know Sinclair Broadcast Group. I don't know what.
oh yeah, that's
Sinclair.
yeah.
Yeah.
What what channels and stuff?
For ABC, NBC, and Fox.
Okay. So
It's kind of like a wide range of channels.
an
Local
a
channels.
Broadcast Ring of Honor Wrestling in the Midwest.
So a leaked memo from Robert Truman, the general manager, was like obviously leaked, but let's see, where was the well, Sinclair Broadcast Group really doesn't want its employees talking to the press about the Trumpian fake news script it has recently been forcing local news anchors to recite. This was made clear by a memo warning staff at the Sinclair-owned station KATU in Portland, Oregon, that giving statements to the media or sharing negative information about the company can have huge implications. And I guess they sent the memo over as soon as the outrage on right-wing media, I'm assuming by that they mean Fox and talk radio stations and some YouTubers or something maybe, or some websites like Drudge Report and stuff. But when they started doing the whole fake news narrative, but somebody anonymously released that memo, and a couple of people gave anonymous quotes to Huffington Post and a few other places. Stuff like the new scripted fake news segment caused a lot of anguish where I work. Sinclair's employee handbook states that the company may monitor, intercept, and review without further notice every employee's activities using the company's electronic resources and communication systems. To be very clear, you should not have any expectation of personal privacy in any communication using company-owned equipment. So if they said anything about either this memo or what it was talking about, that that they could be read by the company, and apparently the boss was real. It's everything Sinclair gives us or forces upon us is met with uproar, but we have no choice. But Yeah, I just thought that was real interesting that they basically giving local anchors a script that they had to read and telling them that they couldn't tell anybody about anything about this.
And they were gonna get fired if they didn't.
Right, yeah. And just and they wonder why mainstream media is just dying.
Yeah, and these are the people you didn't really expect because they're your local news stations.
Right.
Like, you kind of like expect them to be kind of a little bit more. Like, I don't want to say unbiased or that, but maybe homegrown. Where they care a
Certainly
little bit
less
more about
interested
the
because they don't usually local
deal with
anchors.
national.
Yeah, they don't deal with that stuff. They give it over to
Yeah.
the bigger companies for that.
Yeah, so whenever to see them actually infiltrating into the local news as well, it's it's really seriously just brainwashing.
Yeah.
It's propaganda brainwashing from the top down, and people see it, but then they still watch the fucking news thinking, "Well, this news station's not doing it."
Yeah.
You dumbass, they are too.
Yep. They all.
Every one of them are.
Every last one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video on Facebook of all the news anchors, like a bunch of
Yeah.
different ones saying the same thing. Like
That was
it's
insane.
about word for word. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, man, it's getting serious, man. They are, I mean, between all the hit pieces that different outlets are doing on YouTube personalities and stuff like that, and this kind of shit, like, they are no joke going after anybody that's disagreeing with them.
Who is?
Oh, just like the big media companies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Sinclair, obviously, but you know, what is it? Is it
Time Warner.
Yeah, Time Warner that owns CNN. And then there's the third one. I can't remember. There's three of them that basically own all of them.
Oh, Ted Turner.
Is it
No.
is it Turner? Turner,
so.
Turner, Time Warner,
Turner
and Sinclair.
Broadcasting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the three, right?
Yeah, and I think that Sinclair is actually trying to buy Turner, which would actually give them put Sinclair in 3 out of 4 American homes.
Oof.
Like 3 out of 4 people. So basically, 3/4 of America would be seeing Sinclair News or Sinclair Rand News,
Right.
and they lean more right conservative. So I mean, but I still don't want. I don't give a shit if they're like more on my side or not. I don't want jaded news.
Yeah.
When it comes to news, I think it needs to be as objective as possible.
Well, we've
I don't
seen
need
the
any
problem
political
with how
bias bullshit in
CNN
that.
and all the and MSNBC and all them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's just nothing but propaganda on all sides.
Yep. And Fox News is not much better.
I don't know. Fox News is just the only about the only conservative mainstream media site, but it's still slanting everything in a biased way for
It's too
conservatives.
conservative.
In some aspects, in some shows, they're more moderate. And did you know Facebook actually classifies you?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like yeah, my wife actually put me through the settings, and if you go to your Facebook, go to settings, account settings, and then scroll down, and you'll see ads. Click on ads, and then scroll down where it says your information, and then scroll down where it says your category.
Yep. And then
Well, it says review and manage your category. If you scroll down, you'll see where it says, like, mine says, where's it at? U.S. politics conservative. I've never assigned anything up saying that I'm conservative.
Yeah, they just do it based on
Facebook's-
what you like and
Yeah, Facebook's algorithm has taken it through the thing. My wife has been labeled as moderate. Oh, and Facebook did come out and go, all the 2 billion users of Facebook, it's pretty. You should just expect that your data was compromised. But what was funny is that Mark Zuckerberg goes, but you should still trust me.
Right.
I'm like, fuck you, dude, man. You're the one that's like made that happen.
Yeah. Really.
You okayed it, whether you liked it or I mean, whether you want to say it or that. You're the one. It had to go. I mean, that type of stuff had to go through him or somebody he entrusted. And to me,
Him or
if
the
you entrust
COO,
somebody
yeah.
with that, that means it might as well have just been you making that decision.
I mean, he said way back
Smart,
when
yes, you should.
that
Yes.
he would never sell users' private info. And dude, I knew when he said that, I was like, bro, that's a lie. That's a damned lie.
Yep.
Money
Chris,
talks.
you deleted your Facebook? I want to, but my wife doesn't use Twitter. And so
She's smart.
the only people the only people I really ever messed with on Facebook is like my wife and my family. So I keep it around for that and photo storage. But I really don't go on there and mess around too much at all with crap because
I
I
just
don't know.
love arguing with people on Facebook. It's so fun.
That's another thing is like I got 2 fucking sites now that I mean if I make a post, it's almost like an argument every time, and I can only handle so much stupidity. So I don't really go to Facebook to get more stupidity. You know, I mean, like I can only handle so much.
Well, you do it on Twitter, so
Yeah. I mean, basically, I've chose
You gotta
Twitter
watch
as my
yourself
platform.
on Twitter, Rambo. They'll
What's
fuck you
funny
up.
though is that out of all the people fucking banned, it wasn't me,
No.
and I'm the
I
one who
got banned,
goes
though.
ham on everybody. I am so fucking shocked that you got banned before I did. I knew I
Me
could have
too.
sworn it would have been me that got banned.
yeah.
Fucking hilarious though.
Which, speaking of arguments on Facebook, I had a small epiphany today. Because the other day, another person in one of my Overwatch groups posted a screen grab of the Blizzard "we took action" based on one of your reports messages.
Yeah, we have.
And of course, they're all talking about the obligatory, oh yeah, doing my part for toxicity and shit like that. And I figured it out why it's been pissing me off that these people are posting this shit so much, right? Because if it was just about getting rid of toxic players, they wouldn't be bragging about it on Facebook. Because posting that thing up on Facebook, or I should say, reporting a toxic player and having action taken against them, that is the in-game equivalent of like calling the cops for somebody after they got mugged. It's just literally all it is, right? And so if it was just about getting rid of a toxic player, what they would be doing is essentially posting on Facebook, "Oh my God, guys, this old lady just got mugged, and I totally called the cops and helped her out. Aren't I such a good person?" That would literally be what it would be doing. And that's not, nobody would be nobody would be bragging about that shit, right? They're fucking posting those pictures up as a fucking trophy because they got one on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Fucking, and I wish, because that was a few days ago, and I just had this little epiphany today, so it's already, this thread's done and over with. I wish I had fucking been able to say that shit to that dude, because fucking I would have got his ass good. But
Facebook is going back it's a years old post, and if you mention the word like gay, tranny, faggot, anything like that, they're just banning your account, and they'll ban you. They'll ban you for like maybe one week, and then if it pops up, they'll just keep adding time to your thing.
And they're doing
That's
it on
hilarious.
Twitter too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because all I said, I was messing with Cyrus, mocking the stupid Hard 8 thing, how him and Kid Smooth were going to kill each other or whatever. So I told Cyrus I'd kill him. That's all I said. And today I got suspended or banned or whatever.
Oh, did you guys hear about the 13 or 14-year-old kid that got suspended for drawing a stick figure with a hunting rifle and a stick figure like Leonardo Ninja Turtle?
No.
Yeah. Fucking kid got suspended literally because he drew a bunch of stick figures, and one of them was like a magician with a staff, and there was like a car, and there was some other shit. But there was one that was like a dude holding and what looked like a hunting rifle, and then there was one that was, I mean, it was just like a stick figure with two knives and like a bandana, but it did kind of look like a Ninja Turtle, and I think the dad even said that it was a Ninja Turtle. But yeah, that drew those two things, and yeah, kid got fucking suspended for a week.
There was a student in New Jersey that got suspended because they went shooting after school with the parents, and she posted on her Instagram the pictures of her with the guns,
Yep.
and the school suspended her.
Yeah, I heard about that. Fucking, this shit's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
I mean, it's bad enough that kid got suspended for, or was it suspended or expelled for
So did I, Shadow. Back then it was fine.
eating a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun?
Yeah, that was back at like beginning of last year or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Fuck,
or a
man.
couple years ago.
Yeah, Shadow, same thing with me. I drew wars.
Drew guns all the time, wars and
I mean, I was drawing
Cowboys
detailed,
and
like,
Indians and
what were they? They're not, the Marines from, like, StarCraft and shit.
we drew dead bodies too.
Sure. I mean, some teachers didn't like it,
Fucking
but fuck them.
nooses. I mean, yeah.
Jesus.
You were never suspended for it.
Yeah, right? You'd get a talking to, maybe, by the
Yeah.
stick up their ass teachers. Yeah, this is...
I've even drawn naked women in school and didn't get in trouble.
It's very Orwellian.
Dude. Yeah. Straight up out of 1984, man.
Yeah, that book is like becoming more and more true.
Between that and Harrison Bergeron, man, I'm serious. Shit is getting out of control.
I think that Cloverfield paradox, like, it was actually like us going through a paradox.
That the CERN Super Collider really did do some shit.
Yeah.
Opened up a fucking new dimension and everything got mixed together, and now we're stuck with the fucking crazy dimension.
You know what, Cyrus?
Yep.
Define egalitarian.
Yeah.
Can't just throw that word around these days.
Yeah.
No, define it. I want you to define it now. I demand you.
No run-on sentences. Nice, neat paragraph. Come on.
Yeah, write an essay. Oh, man. These fuckers.
Chris, you got to be careful with what you upload to Twitter. Like Twitter's what's it called? Algorithm is just as touchy as, like, they were suspending people because they were like replying, like saying "kill myself," like as related to the tweets that they were referencing. It wasn't really anything real. It was just like simply just a reply. And there were so many people that got banned because of that, because they going, if you need suicide prevention, here it is, but they banned them from Twitter. Like, it's getting fucking crazy. Like, where certain words are just bannable, but that's because the UK now, didn't you say?
Yeah, it was those. It was because of the new Microsoft and other policies. Then that was because of two bills that just passed in the UK, where a platform is now responsible for everything that its users post.
Yeah. So, like, the UK, instead of like people taking personal responsibility, now they're trying to blame like Facebook and Twitter for the shit people post on there. But so what Facebook and Twitter are doing are running these algorithms and cleaning up their database, like cleaning up their site, but it's catching a lot of innocent people and everything else like that. And they're doing it across globally because I mean, I can only imagine that since it passed in the UK, it will eventually pass here.
Well, since it passed, have you had any trouble from your UK brother?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Maybe it's coincidence. I don't know.
That would be nice. You're very quiet, though.
Oh, I was kind of far back from my microphone.
So what do you think about Spider-Man there, Shane?
It looks pretty cool.
Fucking amazing, right?
Yeah, I'm glad the launch date is real soon, too.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
cannot
it's not
wait.
exactly soon, but it's soon enough. I mean,
Yeah, it's at least this year, and you have a date now. I cannot wait for that.
I was a little worried about the QuickTime events because I don't see how that's going to work that well in a superhero
They said there
game.
weren't many. And like the ones that we thought that were QuickTime events, like during the E3 trailer and stuff, the helicopter scene, Insomniac said none of those were QuickTime events.
Oh shit! Well, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, of course, that's what they said. So I don't know if it pans out to be true, but that's what they said. Well, what's funny though is the amount of people that were on Twitter like for months going, exclusives don't matter. Exclusives don't matter. It's all about the frames and the resolution, and exclusives don't matter. Now all of a sudden they're begging Insomniac to bring it to Xbox.
Later, Spark.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, what was funny is that somebody goes, when is this coming to Xbox? And Insomniac said with one word, never. People don't understand that Marvel gave the IP to Sony so that way they can use their Spider-Man in the movies.
It's not only that, I think they got a bad taste in their mouth from Sunset Overdrive, so I don't see them wanting
Insomniac
to go out of their way for Xbox.
Insomniac though has nothing to deal with Spider-Man besides the fact that they're making the game. Sony just commissioned them to make the game. Like the IP is Sony's.
Cyrus, Insomniac is so anti-consumer.
And did you know that in the industry, nobody uses the term second party?
No.
Like we would call Insomniac second party because they were making a first party IP, but the studio wasn't owned by. Well, they just consider themselves making a first party IP.
Well, the IP is first party.
Yeah, but they don't have a terminology that says first party studio, second party studio, and third party studio. They say it's either first party or third party.
Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, the whole second party thing to me has always been kind of reaching.
Yeah, we gave that term to it so that way. I guess fanboys did so that way they can say, well, that's not really, Sony or Microsoft's game. That's second party.
Right.
But Xbox even includes every game that Microsoft Studios published. Like, they don't even have to own the IP. They include any game that they publish as first party, which that's a little bit of a stretch. Because if you don't own the IP for that first party.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sunset Overdrive 2 will come to PS4, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Sunset Overdrive 2, if they ever make it. They said they were going to make it no matter what. But when they make it, it'll be on all consoles or it'll be a PlayStation exclusive. I wish PlayStation, if Insomniac would just buy Insomniac by now. Because PlayStation and Insomniac are kind of like Microsoft and Remedy. I always kind of figured that Remedy would ever eventually be bought by Microsoft, but it's kind of like now they want to distance themselves from Microsoft.
Well, with Microsoft's history, I
Yeah,
don't
they're not
really.
batting
Yeah.
1,000 lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo Storm. I'm not saying that you're a fanboy for knowing that term because I know what second party meant, but what I'm saying is that like I think the fanboys came up with that term to kind of give one like, well, you can't count that on your list because this, you know, and then it kind of just been talked about so many times that it just kind of stuck around. But whenever we talk to the developers, um, they don't even understand like what you're talking about whenever they say you say second party because they're like, I'm making a first party IP. That's all I'm doing. Or I'm, you know, third party. You know, I have, you know, I'm so and so, and I own the game, I own the IP, and I'm making. So, oh yeah, I know Insomniac wants to be independent.
Yeah, Rambo wasn't saying that they want someone
Yeah.
to buy them. He's just if Sony would acquire them, it would make sense. Just like when Microsoft acquired Rare. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it would make sense even for Microsoft to even acquire Remedy, but I don't think Remedy would sell either. I
No.
mean, I was saying that those, because Sony and Insomniac have worked together for quite some time on a lot of projects, and Microsoft and or Xbox and Remedy have
Remedy,
worked
yeah.
together on a lot of projects. So I mean, those two would make sense to be bought out by those respective companies. Not that they would, but it would make sense. And yeah, Chris, I mean, I should be able to, depending on how I feel. I mean, I can't guarantee anything because it all matters about how I feel. But I would like to because there's a trophy related to doing 3 missions in a co-op. So that would be nice. Oh,
Did you finish Far Cry 5?
not yet, no. I've been having too much fun, like flying in a helicopter, just flying around and shooting people on the ground.
Well, hey, that's a game's good when you can get lost doing stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just finding different things and having a good old time, just like blowing people up and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, that's why Bremer and I never finished Ghost Recon, because if you get on a dirt bike and have someone get on the back of it and you just ride down like a ton of mountains, it's it's fucking fun, especially when the person flies off the back. I mean,
My friend, she in Ghost Recon tried to fly a plane, and she crashed it to where the plane was like balancing on top of a fucking fence somehow. And I was like, "Well, dear God, you cannot drive worth a shit." We never really got off the ground. She kind of like went up and then down, and then it was balanced on a fucking fence. Like you couldn't get it moving.
shit.
And it was one of those fences that you couldn't knock down, so the plane was just stuck.
I just
Yeah, Halo
saw.
Storm. That's what. Oh, I guess you're talking to Cyrus. Yeah.
I just saw. They made an announcement about year 2 for Ghost Recon. I didn't actually see what the announcement entailed, but supposedly, the DLC plans and shit like that are out.
Oh yeah, Ghost Recon's gonna be another one that's gonna be around for a while.
I'm really impressed with Ubisoft doing that with the Division, and now
Ubisoft's been doing really damn good. The Division, Rainbow Six, and now Wildlands. Now, if they could get rid of the crew, I don't even know who the fuck asked for the crew too. But they need to get rid of that, and I mean they'll be just popping out bangers, like every single time. I like how they're supporting their games, and they just seem to keep on getting better and better.
Fuck, I ended up picking up my wife. I'll be right back.
All right.
Fucking Shaner.
Yeah, Jay Caesar, I haven't finished Ghost Recon either. I played it for a little bit, and then I don't know, something else came out and caught my eye, and I started playing it.
Yeah, nobody's doing very good when it comes to their DRM. Too many people using Denuvo. That shit is.
Well, the DRM on consoles, I mean, we don't really ever see it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, PC,
I mean,
man, that shit is
yeah.
cancer.
As a console gamer, I wouldn't mention DRM because it's not something that we see. We like it just works for us. Whereas
Well, yeah, you
on
guys don't
PC, it's a
have.
whole different story.
Yeah, you guys don't have Denuvo or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah,
through
it's
the
a
store.
completely.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. With Denuvo and the
and
other ones, man, they're actually like impacting performance and shit, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, Chris, where Ghost Recon is really a co-op game.
oh yeah, it's a lot of fun with co-op, but it's kind of boring as hell by yourself.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
You feel like it's kind of like a Far Cry without the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jay Caesar. Whenever I played on PC, I didn't ever have a problem with you play. I mean, I understand why people have a problem with that, but since I don't really mess with any of the hacking or anything like that, or modding or anything like that kind of shit doesn't really phase me. So I just played the games. Now, I mean, it did make the game I think run worse, but it's still. I mean, since I came from console, it was still hitting 30 frames per second. So I mean, I was okay. Whereas a PC gamer, I can definitely understand like why they wouldn't like that.
well, especially because it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck, man. It
and people have cracked de novo like really quickly.
oh, hours. Yeah, usually
Yeah,
it's hours
something
or
like
days.
if it's not working and people have already cracked it, you might as well just release them without it.
Yeah, I mean that's what The Witcher did, and that's what oh, there was another studio that was doing that too, where they just said, no, we are not going to in any way inconvenience our paying customers because there's assholes out there. And that is the exact right stance to take about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried the arcade in Far Cry 5?
I have the solo arcade or solo co-op arcade missions are kind of fun. There's a little bit different ones, and I mean that like they have some where you have to beat up people in waves, and you start out with your fist, and you just got to beat up somebody that has a bat or a gun or whatever, and then pick that up and start beating that up until the next person comes with a better weapon. Um, then you have like ones where like shoot all the people in the thing, and it gives you weapons at certain points, and I don't know, man, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that, and I haven't done the verses. I've tried doing the verses, but it just really wasn't
Yeah, Rambo hates
working
his
for me all that great, and it wasn't all that great.
yeah, Rambo hates his multiplayer.
Yeah, well, especially that one. That one really kind of like a shit multiplayer.
I can imagine. Far Cry's never I mean,
It's not really a damn multiplayer type game.
no, yeah. Has
It's more of a co-op type game.
has any of the other ones actually had a versus multiplayer?
Yeah, Far Cry 4 did.
4 did, but none of the
Yeah.
ones before that did, and I don't think Primal did,
I don't
right?
think. Yeah, I don't think 3 did, and I don't think Primal did. No, I think
Yeah.
Primal was all single player trophies.
Yeah. So, man, 2 hackers in one game? Jesus.
Yeah, Chris, I'm definitely down for that. Do some
Oh,
do
3
three
3 did
missions
have
in
multiplayer.
3 missions in co-op, so we can get that trophy, and then jump into some multiplayer and try to get those 10 wins or whatever in multiplayer to get that trophy, and maybe even to level 20, so we can get that one too. I'm close to level 20. I'm like level 16. But I guess I'm level 16 at that level from the single or co-op multiplayer carries over to the versus.
Interesting. Does it do vice versa too? If you gain some levels in
I think so, but I mean, I'm not
multiplayer,
sure.
it sticks with you for the single player?
I think so, but I'm not sure because I've not gone into the multiplayer after
Yeah.
I leveled up, so don't really know what actually transpires. But I'm hoping that it seems like they do because like when you unlock a gun or something in the story or a move or whatever, it'll say it also this also works in multiplayer as well. So you would think since like I mean there's crossover with the campaign that there would be crossover throughout all of it.
Well, yeah. If it unlocks single to multiplayer, it doesn't really make sense to not do the other way around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless you just didn't, it was only unlocked in single player and nothing you did in multiplayer gained XP or unlocked anything. That would be the only way I could see it, but
Yeah, Chris, like I said, I mean, as long as I'm feeling okay, I'll definitely hop on with you, but I just can't guarantee how I'm gonna feel.
it's going around.
I might go to the ER tomorrow or something to see if I can get something to put in my body to get rid of this shit. Cause something's got to give. Yeah, Chris, I did the solo co-op arcade because you had to do like 10 missions in that. And I did that for a while to what's it called to get those 10 missions for a trophy, and that's how I got leveled up to level 16.
So, Vice article, The Evolving Face of Hate. Too many atheists are veering dangerously towards the alt-right, and atheists can't afford to be quiet about it.
Oh dear God! So now it's atheists that are bad people.
Yep. Atheists are first, it's women. Women aren't saying they're feminists, and so they're doing women wrong. And now it's atheists. They're going the wrong way.
Well, their whole fucking narrative like shifted with that YouTube shooter because this was a woman and a mother. So now, how the hell are they going to spin that to their favor? It was part of the patriarchy.
Yeah, they'll blame some man. It'll be her boyfriend or her dad that was doing something to her that caused her to go crazy, and therefore it was toxic masculinity.
Yep. Is that Shane back?
Shane?
I thought I heard Shane.
Oh, I guess not.
Nope.
Had to be kind of quick for grabbing his wife. How far away is she from the house?
I don't think she's that far, but that still would have been pretty damn quick for that. And of course, he grabs his wife and then comes back and goes, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go pick up something to eat."
Yep.
I'm like, it's like, well, why didn't you pick it up? Well, I didn't want you to wait. I'm like, so we're gonna wait anyway.
Oh, it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's in the parking lot waiting. He says.
What is he listening to us?
Apparently, yeah.
This motherfucker.
He said he should have downloaded Discord on his phone. I'm in the parking lot waiting. Damn it, we talked about him while he was gone.
You don't have data, dumbass.
Us, so maybe we'll ban him from the channel.
Right click. Kick Shaner. We knew you loved Dick. It's good of you to admit it, though. But there's a toxic side to internet atheism. For years, women and people of color have repeatedly voiced how atheist websites, organizations, and public figures ignore their concerns and tolerate or even actively contribute to an environment that makes them feel unsafe and unwelcome, particularly online. Given these concerns, it's not surprising that areas of online atheism increasingly seem to be overlapping with the alt-right.
Them fucking atheists.
Oh my god. And I'm loving the, oh man, I just Top Hats and Champagne did a compilation of a whole ton of articles about Ready Player One, and every one of them, it was Gamergate this and Trump that, and you know, white, toxic masculinity, white geek culture, and Jesus fucking Christ, man. This fucking horror.
Oh,
I think it was
they've
like
been going
12
nuts
different
with this shit.
articles, and they all fucking said the same exact shit.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's happening on their side too. I mean, it's literally every bit of the news is being funneled, and those who control the information control the people.
There was even I don't
Quit
know.
believing everything y'all mainstream media say because they're only telling you what they want you to know.
There was even it was on Reddit, and they didn't put the publication, and I can't remember the journalist's name, but the quote was Steven Spielberg was snubbed, and rightfully so, for his for Ready Player One, because of all those, because it's white male
Netflix
centric,
says,
and
"Oh, yeah,
yeah, that kind of shit. But it's like, so you're gonna snub the director out of can't remember if it was like an Oscar or a Golden Globe or whatever the award was that he was getting snubbed for, but you're gonna snub him for an award because because what? He directed a movie that you don't like things
you."
about?
I swear, man, these people are vindictive. Like it's not safe anymore because like you can't. Every time you have an interaction, and if anybody ever finds out like you're a Trump supporter or you're not quote unquote a right thinker, you have to worry about them. Like you have to look at your social media sites and all this stuff and make sure you aren't labeling where you work. Because
Right?
these people will go out of their way to make sure that you don't work ever again,
Oh yeah.
simply because you disagreed with them. And all employers will cave because all employers don't want to deal with
Yeah.
mass phone calls about one person. They're like,
Right.
I'd rather just get rid of him. He's not worth the time.
Yeah, it's way easier just to fire that, even if they go on unemployment or whatever, it's way
Yeah.
easier to deal with that than it is to deal with, constant phone calls, or even worse, they'll just go to the news and say that, oh, this company is endorsing white supremacy and,
Yep.
blah blah blah. Fuck. Man, like, how did we get to the point where fucking people are going after other people's jobs because of shit that was said on the internet?
Yeah, and people are saying, well, you got your free speech, but you're not free of consequence. And I'm like, but that's not a fucking proper consequence. Like, I should have to fear for my job because we had a disagreement about Trump. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that, like, now, I mean, I can understand if I was having the disagreement while I was at work,
Sure.
but if we're just having a disagreement like on a Saturday, I shouldn't have to worry about on Monday if I still have a job or not because I disagreed with you.
Yeah, it's one thing if
That's
somebody's
not a-
posting up a video of them pulling some nonsense on company time or
Yeah,
some shit like that. But yeah, for something that's not any way related to where they work at all, fuck.
it's fucking insane what these. Well, Jay Caesar, that's the problem is that a lot of people, and I know a lot of people on the right want to call like CNN and MSNBC and all that fake news, which rightfully so, they are. But you've got to also point that finger at every fucking other site, like Fox News and everything else, because it is all fake news. It is all just there to brainwash you into what they want you to think. You have to go get the story from somebody that doesn't try to force their opinion onto you, and then you be able to get all the information, look at the information, and come up with your own conclusion. That's the reason why I deal with Philly D, is because he kind of just gives you the layout. He might tell you his opinion, but he'll go, now I'm going to give you my opinion on it. And then he's like, but now I want to know what your opinion is. And like, leave in the comment section, whatever. But he always leaves the links to every story, like detailed links as far as what's going on. So you can read up completely about everything and get all the information, all the facts.
I mean, it's
that's more of what news should be.
Oh, dude, YouTube, like the commentators basically, but Philly D and Sargon and who's that that kid that's more of a in the field type of guy that always wears the beanie.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Those guys are turning into the news basically, because they do more fact checking than fucking any of the fucking real quote unquote news agencies.
Yeah, the news agencies don't give a shit about facts; they care about ratings.
No, I mean shit. What Rolling Stone and that fucking rape hoax at UVA? Fucking people debunked that shit in literally it was weeks.
Yeah.
Regular ass people, not investigative journalists, regular ass people. All at Tim Pool, thank you, Jay Caesar. That's the guy.
It's very easy to do.
Yeah, regular ass people just, asking a few simple questions or looking up a few public things, and they were able to find out that the whole, and this has happened all over with all sorts of shit, that, like the whole story is nothing but bullshit. And it's like, this is a quote unquote professional working at a major news outlet, writing for a major publication, and yet it's obvious they couldn't even be bothered to do the most minor of actual journalism and make sure that they had any facts straight whatsoever.
Yeah, and there's actually an interesting case that is being brought forth against InfoWars. Because when the Parkland shooting happened, there was a post about a picture. Somebody found a picture and then found the person's Instagram, found him in this guy in an Antifa outfit. And InfoWars just ran with the story and posted that picture everywhere. They did eventually take it down, but the family is suing for defamation because they're saying that they knowingly, put that up there and it was false. And they were doing it for clicks and stuff like that. But there's an attorney that said the First Amendment rights actually will benefit InfoWars on this.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, defamation is hard to win in court.
Yeah, because their argument seems to be that, well, you've done it before with other things, so you're just like a fake news outlet. And so they're kind of like attacking them as a whole, and be like, look, we have the right to do whatever we want to do, First Amendment. And so they're probably going to lose the case. But it's if they actually did win the case, it would set a precedent, though, with these other sites that just go out and, well, the shooter was a white male, and it comes out it was a female Iranian.
Right.
They don't really give a shit about facts. They give it more shit about, we want to get all this information out there. We don't give a shit like what part's true and what's not.
Yep. Yeah, way too many instances of that happening.
Yeah. I'm sorry for just rambling on there.
No, yeah.
The fucking news is just irritating.
It's cancer.
Yeah, I can't watch it anymore.
Oh yeah, my parents still watch. I get my dad, he likes Tucker Carlson, and I can get that,
I like
right?
Him.
Yeah,
I do like him.
He's fun to listen to, and they'll watch the O'Reilly report sometimes and some shit like that. But it's like, man.
See, I don't really like O'Reilly.
I don't even think, even like Tucker Carlson, I'd rather just watch the clips of him on YouTube. Like, I just don't want to turn on my TV to the actual channel. Like, it makes me feel disgusting inside.
Yeah, I'd rather watch the clips on YouTube as well, because they cut out unnecessary bullshit, and then I can just simply watch the segment and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to give them the rating.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one
I
point
didn't
on
want to
the
give him
rating. Yeah.
any number. That's the thing with me. I don't want any. I don't want to give like any beside a click or anything like that, or any network a view, because I just don't. I personally, I think to me, none of them deserve it.
Yeah, they need
I want
to
to
die.
figure. Yeah, I want to figure out a way around um, everything, so that way I can actually never have to worry about giving them a click at all ever again,
Yep.
or a view.
Yeah. I their death, I mean, it's coming because they're
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, CNN, what is it? The average age of the viewer is something like 70,
Yep.
and even Fox News, it's like 65 or something. And they're basically just dying off at this point, and nobody new is coming to replace them. So I don't know how much longer they can keep doing what they're doing. I mean, shit, CNN. The only reason CNN is the most watched news network is because they've got, I don't know if it's contracts or something like that, but it's some sort of deal with like airports and shit.
Oh, where they run it?
Right, where it's just
Yeah.
constantly playing at airports and maybe bus stations or whatever
Well,
places like
that
that.
and Trump saying they're fake news and stuff. It's kind of like how Crap Gamer drew in subs and more people talked about them.
Right.
They go there and watch them to see what they're going to say.
Kind of like the
Try to
Streisand
catch.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, I mean, personally, I'm kind of sticking to my guns. Like, I'll open articles with archive.
Right.
And as far as like the news or whatever, if somebody will clip out whatever and put it on YouTube eventually, and I'll just give that person a view rather than Fox or CNN.
Yep. Cyrus, you say that, but like shit. I mean, there was that page that was they were a feminist satire page to where all they did was just satire articles like what, as feminists, and they had to shut down because the shit that real feminists were putting out was crazier than the satire that they could write.
That's sad.
It's getting to the point where it might actually be more true coming from the Onion than from an actual news source.
That's sad. Yep. I always look at the Onion and the National Enquirer, that
Right?
you see in the checkout stands. Yeah. And didn't some politician like reference the Onion article?
I think so. Yeah. I
I
remember
forgot
something
who it
like
was,
that.
but I thought, I'm like going, do you not know who the fuck the Onion is? I mean, like,
Well,
wow.
I mean, it Poe's Law. It's you get I see these fucking articles on Facebook or Reddit or something, and you literally can't tell if they're being serious or not.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, dude, piss for equality. Feminists fucking believe that shit, and we're pissing their pants in public and on camera.
Yeah. It made people with a lot of fetishes like really happy.
I mean, you couldn't make that shit up. That shit couldn't be in an Austin Powers movie.
No, because I mean that would have been too far fetched.
Yeah.
It would have been like, yeah,
People would have said that shit is ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here.
but in 2018 it did happen.
Ugh.
I'm a First Amendment absolutist, but damn, some of these people really make me want to change my mind about that.
Well, I really think, I think defamation should be a little easier to prosecute. I don't think you should have to prove malicious intent.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is proving the intent.
Yeah, I think as long as you can prove that it was a knowing lie. If you can
Yep.
prove that they knew it was a lie, or at the very least, you know, they knew it was unverified and untrustworthy or something
Yeah,
like that.
create a reasonable doubt.
Exactly. Yeah, as long as that you can prove that it was false and that they had either knowledge that it was false or reasonable knowledge that it was false, I don't think you should have to prove intent, because really, what does it matter if they intended to defame somebody or not? If they didn't
Yep.
check any sources or anything like that and they publish I mean, really, the fact that they published it without checking it is almost proof in and of itself of intent.
Yeah.
But even forgetting that, okay, people make mistakes and shit like that, but if you don't I mean, especially when it comes to like somebody's character, or like, man, because they go after these politicians and they fucking they come up with this crazy fucking shit.
Yep.
And it just muddies the waters, because then, real accusations come out and nobody fucking believes
Yeah,
them.
nobody believes it. Yeah.
I mean, just look, and I trust me, because I know that it was all bullshit, because, all the circumstances were fucking shady as fuck. But just look at the sexual assault allegations that came out against Trump a couple months before the election.
Oh yeah.
Nobody bought that shit.
Nope. And nobody should have,
Nobody.
because
Yeah.
that was some terrible fake news.
But it's like, that's what these idiots have done to sexual assault allegations now. It's fucking unthinkable.
Yep. I never thought we'd be there to where like sexual assault and racist and
Nazi.
bigot and all these Nazis did not hold any meaning. Like, those were always words that when you heard them, they invoked a feeling.
Yeah, it was serious business.
Yeah, but now they're just like a vocabulary word. Might as well be on the fucking list. Like,
Yeah,
Nazi.
They might as well be gay in the schoolyard.
Yep.
You're fucking gay, man. You're a Nazi. That's literally all it is now.
Yep. It's like, seriously, they're watering down to the point to where when something actually does happen, we're all just gonna kind of turn our back to it, because you've cried wolf too many fucking times.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. And I don't know, maybe that's for the better, because
In a sense, I guess.
yeah, I mean, it's how often are those allegations, even if they were, even before they got like this, how often were they really that serious anyway?
True.
I mean, I don't ever remember, in the 90s or something, hearing of somebody getting called a racist, and then, you find out that they actually were a Klan member or something,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that either.
But I mean, now definitely with like the sexual assault stuff and shit like that, that's no bueno. But as far as like Nazi and racist and that kind of shit goes, maybe it's for the best that those got watered down, because I mean, really, here's the thing, right?
That, and back then they could ruin your life just by that accusation.
Oh yeah, and really,
Now
here's the
like,
thing.
I mean, I'm glad that now they can't.
Really, who the fuck cares if ex-politician is racist?
Yeah. True.
I mean, sure, he's a bad person and all that, right? Okay, but if he's not passing a law that says all black people have to, submit to this, that, or the other, or some shit, like, if you want to get rid of him, go after shit he's doing.
Yeah.
Calling him a racist, that's just like, that is the least productive and what's the right word for it? Substantial, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, or Nazi or misogynist or I mean shit, like
Go after
Bill
the meat
Clinton.
rather
Yeah,
than.
exactly. Bill Clinton. I mean, you can call him a misogynist all you want, and hey, maybe you're right. He was dicking interns and all sorts of silly shit, But I mean, he was president, and there were more important things going on than who he was sticking a cigar into in the Oval Office.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't care because to me, I thought Clinton was a pretty decent president. Like Bill Clinton.
Yeah. He
Um,
definitely wasn't the worst. That's for damn
yeah,
sure.
but I didn't feel like that we need to spend however long that was to go through the impeachment process and all that for him fucking an intern. I was like, who cares?
I
His
mean, really,
job is
yeah,
being president, so is he doing his job? If he is, then who gives a shit who he fucks?
really, yeah. I think one of the besides the besides the punch to the social justice warriors and the far lefties, and besides the real hit that the media has taken and all that kind of stuff, I think one of the best things about the Trump presidency is we're getting away from this idea that the president has to be the quote unquote perfect politician,
Oh yeah.
where they have to be absolutely perfect in their behavior, to where Bill Clinton's got to come out and say, well, I didn't inhale, because he's too afraid of admitting that he smoked a little pot.
Yep.
That kind of shit, that needs to go away, because
I think it slowly is though.
yeah, and that's, like I said, I think that's one of the better things about the Trump presidency, because people finally said, okay, look, we don't give a shit that he said he was grabbing pussies and shit like this. We don't care. We care about what he's going to do when he's in office, as far as the country goes. That's what's important for a president, not that he was grabbing pussies.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, that they're going after the wrong shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit they can attack Trump with, but don't go after him for the petty shit. Go after him like the actual meat of his ideology.
Yep. Or policies or whatever.
Prove him wrong there, and you've got him.
Yep.
But going after who he slept with or whatever, it's like nobody cares.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give a shit. It's not going to change. It's not going to sway our vote or sway our mind.
I mean, Obama was the perfect example, because on paper he was the perfect candidate.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now I'm
the perfect president.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I've done a little digging on some of this shit, and there's quite a lot of evidence that Obama was groomed from an early age by communists and some other real radical revolutionaries to basically be, a Manchurian type candidate. And if that's the case, it worked perfectly, because I mean, they basically controlled his whole life to where, he went through college, he didn't do shit, he went straight, from college, and he was the community organizer in Chicago for a hot minute.
Yeah, but that to the politics.
Yeah, but that was the thing. He had never done anything really in real life. He had never been really a businessman or anything like that, and he had, there was nothing. They kept his record completely clean, so they could always hold up the perfect little Boy Scout card and say, "See, he's a good person," because that shit needs to go away.
Obama wasn't even the worst, though.
Oh, shit. No, I wouldn't say that he is the worst.
That guy wasn't half bad when it's all said and done.
No, I think
he was decent
he was.
During his first 4 years, but his last 4 years, he really fucked everybody over.
I think the more evidence comes out of the stuff that he's done, the worse it's going to get. Because, like I said, I've done a little digging.
What he did what he did to Kim.com is like completely overreach.
Well, I've paid more money to the government since Trump's became president than I ever did with Obama. And there, I'm just gonna say that.
You
I mean,
paid?
Yes, I have paid them more.
Yeah, but that was because of the stuff Obama passed in his last few years, though.
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we still really haven't. I mean, they're just now scratching the surface on the FISA warrants, and whether or not Obama knew and or ordered that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, there's strong evidence that he did. But I mean, there was also, Eric Holder and the whole Fast and the Furious scandal. There's a lot of shit that's just, it's never been investigated.
Yep. He got kind of like a pass.
Yeah.
He definitely got a pass by the media.
Yeah, well, yeah, certainly by the media. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just like Hillary Clinton and the whole Comey thing, and the emails and the private server and all that kind of shit. I really hope that, I don't care if it takes a decade or 10, that they figure out what the hell actually happened, because I think the Obama presidency is far, far worse than people think.
It might be.
And the only way we'll ever know for sure is if that shit actually gets investigated.
Or it comes to light.
Yeah.
Cyrus, the leaked specs for the PS5. I'm not sure if I believe them or not. I'm not really thinking I do. I don't think there's dev kits out at like developers' offices. I think that Sony has given the devs like an idea of like what they're going to try to shoot for.
That seems a little more reasonable, yeah.
And they're working on, getting games up and running on that type of power and stuff. I don't think
here's the likely specs. So
yeah.
Here's what we're thinking you're going to have to play around with. So kind of plan around that kind of thing.
Yeah, build a PC to be able to run it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to have this many cores at this speed with this kind of graphics chip. Make something reasonable like that so you can kind of plan. But yeah, I don't think they've actually got boxes out. That would be awfully soon.
And I'd be surprised that nobody's leaked a picture of it.
Yeah, right?
Somebody would have leaked a picture.
20 teraflops. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, that's what some of the things. I mean, it could, but I mean, again, like when it comes to teraflops, I mean, it can have 20, and the Xbox One X with 6 can still outperform it, because it's really not a performance measurement. It's just part of a performance measurement.
And even because I think
right.
Vegas 64 is the highest right now, and I think that's got like 16.
No, I think it's got like 22.
Oh, is it 22?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember. And then there's like the next one, or one of the next ones down is like 14 or something like that. So, man, if they're planning for 20, that's an awfully big hardware leap for a console.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, it's supposed to be the Ryzen Vega.
Is it?
APU. Yeah, and GDDR6.
Well, GDDR6 makes sense because that's releasing fairly soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryzen.
And it's supposed to be an 8-core CPU, but of course, Ryzen's a 8-core. Or their bigger ones are.
Right. I just wonder what, because the APUs that are in the actual Ryzen APUs for PCs, they're fairly powerful. They get up to like 1600 megahertz and shit, which is actually, that's my, the turbo clock, the max turbo clock for not, it's overclocking, but it's not like overclocking on my 64 is 1710. So that's almost right there with the actual discrete Vega, but it doesn't nearly perform as well as the actual discrete Vega. So I'm wondering if I mean, they're certainly not just using a straight up copy of the the PC CPU
I wouldn't
or
think so.
APU. So I
It'd be a
wonder,
custom one.
yeah. So I
Yes,
wonder
I'm
what
here.
it'll be compared.
Can you not
How
hear me?
similar a little bit. No, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you just
So what do
you
you
weren't
think?
talking.
What do you think, Shane? What do you think about the PS5 release or the
I didn't see
rumors?
any release rumors.
Oh.
You guys talking about it's first I heard about it.
Yeah,
Why? What's the rumor?
Tweaktown and a couple
Uh,
others came out with some rumors.
Apparently, like it's supposed to release like sometime either next year. It's gonna be 20 teraflops, Ryzen Vega and APU, GDDR6 memory, and what was it? I forgot what else, but I mean, it was kind of like and
Is
PSVR was gonna.
GDDR6 even out yet?
It is coming out soon. They've almost
I'm sure.
finalized the specs.
I'm sure it's out for them. Like if they could get some if they wanted to, because they have more of a direct pipeline than the consumers do.
Ryan,
They're like good drug dealers. They know where to get the shit.
Yeah, pretty much. But the PSVR is going to be built into the system to where you don't have to actually have a separate box. You can simply plug it into your console and do your PSVR, which would be cool. I fully expect, though, that it could be a 2019, 2020 release date for a console, and I wouldn't be upset with that. As far as PlayStation goes.
Yeah, I mean the PS4 Pro really. I mean,
Well, when they announced the PS4 Pro, they announced it as an optional thing. It was never they never called it like a mid-gen refresh or anything
and it
like
wasn't
that.
really all that big of a hardware leap either.
No.
Yeah,
No, it
not
was
like the
kinda like
Xbox One X.
Yeah, it was kind of like just here's this if you want it. But I think it was mainly for the people that wanted a better experience with VR.
Plus 4K
But
was
they
getting
never-
more popular and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
But they never came out and acted like that was the box. You know, like that this is our next box, like Microsoft did. So I'm not gonna. I mean, but basically when I look at PlayStation's life cycle, I go back to 2013, and so I'm like 6 years, 7 years. That's a pretty decent, console lifespan. Now I don't think Xbox could release in 2019, 2020. Well, maybe 2020, but not 2019.
Yeah, 2020
They-
seems like the soonest.
Yeah, they just launched their Xbox One X in 2017, so no way in hell they could come out that quickly.
The X needs to go for at least half of an average console life cycle.
I think what you'll see is that, they're not going to let Sony get the jump too much. So if Sony releases next year, you can better bet they will have one on the market in 2020 for sure.
Yeah,
But
we're
it'll
not
be
talking about the
3
Titan
years.
V mixing mutt. That is
and and
not
with
a consumer card.
And it will be like to where games will be able to be played on the Xbox One X or the Xbox One X box. I'm just naming the next console. Oh yeah, they're not gonna put no damn Titan. That'd be fucking awesome though.
Well, I think because I said the highest was Vega with 22.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, obviously the Titan V has the 110. It's the highest, yes. But that's a $3,000 card, and
That'd be fucking badass to put that in the console.
it actually does not perform all that great though, comparatively to what it should, given the specs that it has.
But I just think that if you had that in a console, then say a console exclusive developer would be able to really maximize their fucking game
Oh, you could definitely do
because of
4K
that.
native.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I mean, the world would be so fucking detailed because they would be able to drill down and get every last bit of power out of that damn GPU.
4K 140 frames per second.
Last of Us 2, yeah.
Fucker to be going faster than the TVs could.
It's like 8K 144.
Right?
We can only wish.
It was interesting
My
to watch.
luck.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, my luck. Whenever they announce the PlayStation 5, they'll be like, all games will be dynamic 8K. Like, I don't even give a shit about that, man. Just give me fucking games.
Can I have regular 4K then?
Yeah, there's no kidding.
Yeah, Cyrus.
Like, to me, I don't know why people care about that shit.
The hard drive situation that's whew. They're gonna have to do something because it's gonna end up people are gonna be stacking 5 or 6 4 terabyte or whatever externals trying to house all their games, and that's just not gonna work out all that well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they'll go with a 1 or 2 terabyte internal, and then open up for external support. Because you're not going to be they're not going to be able to put, unless they don't care about size. But that's one of the things with consoles that they do care about size because of the fact that they're trying to fit it into your entertainment system.
Yeah.
And so, they're not going to put in a regular 3.5-inch drive with a disk drive already in there. And since physical and digital is about a 70-30 split right now, there's no chance of them launching without a disk.
Can't they just do 2 different models? Like,
that's what I would
want to
think.
go digital? Here, get this one. We'll save you some money.
Yeah, offer one that's like $20 cheaper, but it just doesn't come with the optical drive.
You would think, but I think that the cost to the company is higher that way. Because I forgot who I talked to about that, and we came up to the conclusion that it would cost the company more money to market like that rather than just come out with one brand.
What did you say the cost was for?
I forgot what it was. Like, I mean, it's been a long time.
Was it like tooling for the manufacturing, or was it more like?
It's R&D and manufacturing and design. I mean, all the different little things going into making the 2 consoles in time, rather than just simply making the one. Because you could get it through faster by doing the one, but making the second one adds more time, more money, and you're paying a ton more people. And then in the end, how many people are going to buy the discless one versus the one with the disc? And is it going to be is kind of risk reward? Is it going to be profitable for Sony or Microsoft? I just don't think it would be profitable. I would love to see that happen because that means they could actually make one with an 8 terabyte internal instead of
like 2 4s or 5s.
Yeah, whatever. I mean they'd be able to make some pretty good size storage in there, and the storage at that higher storage, like at 8 terabytes or whatever, is still relatively cheap. So in comparison to like the 2 terabyte laptop drive,
right? Well, especially buying in bulk, yeah. I mean, because the laptop drive for a 2 terabyte cost me about $115, $118. That's me. Right.
And I can get an 8 terabyte external for about anywhere from $159 to $1, depending on the cell.
Yeah, and I think the 5 or 6 terabyte 3.5 inchers, I think those
you can get those
like,
for about like around $99.
Yeah, they're real cheap.
But I mean, they could do. I mean, if we get them for 159 to 199, they could get them for basically almost probably the exact same cost that they're getting the 2 terabyte laptop drive. And then we would, people like me that have a bunch of digital games, would benefit from buying the cheaper console.
Yeah, Mixing Mud, I'm with you. Although the only problem is the cost of NAND storage right now. But if they can get the production of NAND increased to the point where a cost can drop to where it's not so expensive, I think that would be the best solution for them. Would be they could use cartridges with M.2 drives in them, and you could have an internal drive that's either just a regular platter drive or whatever, and then you could have like maybe 2 to 4 or even more, because they're super small, slots, say, in the back, where you could just slap in a couple of those M.2s, and they're coming out with 2 and I think even like 3 and 4 terabyte M.2 drives now. So with
that would be nice if they did that.
Yeah, with 4 slots that you could have up to like 8 or 10 terabytes, and that'd probably be, that would keep it nice and small.
I mean, that would also allow them to actually still have the disk drive in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the cost would definitely be a little bit higher for the end consumer, because those M.2s or whatever the memory for not memory but the
Flash
storage space for those
yeah
is more expensive than the hard drive.
It's still pretty I mean, even the cheap ones, my 1
Which doesn't make
terabyte
sense to me. I mean, there's no moving parts.
No,
Zero.
but those chips they're
I think that they know they can.
No, it's I mean, maybe a little of that, but you gotta think too, because it's just like the memory thing. Now phone, Samsung, iPhone, and a whole bunch of others, they've all got phones that have 64 gigs of internal flash storage and 4 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs of RAM. Just a couple of years ago, it was a huge phone, had 8 or 16 gigs of internal flash memory. So the amount of demand on flash storage has just gone through the. I mean, between Samsung, Apple, the Switch, and Jesus, now fucking everything. You've got smart watches, and even like
it's
cars.
Funny now that phones have more flash storage than than all of Nintendo's products.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, like, you wouldn't be paying extra for the PSVR built into it. The only thing it is basically just saying that they're now saying that that little box, the little connections for it, would be inside the console versus outside the console. And so
you don't have
really
the daisy chain with the HDMI and all that, yeah.
So I mean, you're not really going to be paying extra. It's simply just going to be in there.
And Cyrus,
you obviously don't have to use it.
And Cyrus, as far as the backwards compatibility goes, they did. This is actually a for sure, because it's a patent and they have the actual patent. But there was a patent originally filed in 2015 that was just updated in February that says backwards compatibility testing of software in a mode that disrupts timing. But they don't have any guarantees that it is actually for the PS5 or that it will be in the PS5. This might be for something completely different, or it might be something that they just put a patent on so that they could, if they needed to or wanted to, but that doesn't mean they actually have the technology working properly or something like that. So it's definitely a possibility, but nobody knows for absolute sure. So, and Shadowkin, yeah, the NVIDIA cards, because I think for sure there was a 2019 release date for some of them. I don't know about that pricing though. Even if you want to ignore the whole mining thing, I mean, their next card that's equal with a 1080. I don't see it going for less than like $400 or $500, but that would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm with you there. Like the reason why, like I've always wondered why people like think backwards compatibility is a big thing. Because I've never used it ever, and if you actually look at the numbers, not very many people do. Like I think only 2% of the Xbox One owners actually have been using backwards compatibility. But I mean that's a very small percentage. And so I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, it's nice, sure, it's a nice feature, but is it a make or break deal? I wouldn't. I don't think so, because I mean, most people don't actually use it.
I wonder if that's at all skewed though, because you don't have to connect to the internet to use backwards compatibility, right?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You do?
Yeah,
Why would you need to?
you go into like a 360 server, and you like pushes you back over to the 360.
And you can totally tell you're playing on that shit too.
Yeah.
If you loaded up the disc,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
so you can't play an Xbox 360 game on the Xbox One if it's not plugged into the internet?
Well, I'm sure you. I mean, I'm sure you can do that.
Well, that's
But
what
it
I'm
has
saying.
to. Yeah, I
So
mean,
I wonder if a lot of the people who play backwards compatible are playing it
well,
on systems that they don't have connected to the internet.
no, I don't know if they can because since like whenever you put your disc in, it loads the whole game to the Xbox One. It checks for DRM, so you have to be connected to the internet. So that way it'll recognize that you actually have the disc in.
Hmm.
I've never not had mine connected to the internet, so I don't know.
Yeah, it uses that DRM where it checks in and makes sure that it reads the license on the disc. And so if you don't have that internet hooked up, it's not going to be able to read it, and it'll actually end up shutting your game down because it'll error out.
Hmm. And is that 2%, is that like based on, is that how many users have played a backwards compatible game out of the total users, or is that like
Yeah,
a time, like this is the amount of time spent on
no,
backwards compatible games?
it's the amount of users that's played a backwards compatible game.
Hmm.
And I think Shadowkin's right that most of the people that care about backwards compatibility is PC players. Because honestly, I mean, PC is the best place to do backwards compatibility. Like old games look pretty. I mean, it's either they look better just on your system, or there's a mod to make them basically transform into today's style of game.
There's certainly less worry about compatibility.
Yeah, and so I think that might a lot of the backwards compatibility talk and shit like that might be some instigators on that side going in there and saying this stuff so that way they can get something going. And then also I think that it's just a lot of fanboy nonsense back and forth, going, "Ha, we have this, you don't," that type of thing. But if you boil it down, really, not many players are actually taking advantage of it.
Yeah,
Which
it's
I
like
don't.
Cyrus says, it's because since they give 360 games for free in the Xbox Live Gold,
Yeah,
that's just really weird that only 2% have played backwards compatible games. Like I can't see it being that low.
Unless they're all like Rambo going, "Oh, I refuse to play it."
well, I know like
Make a
Randall Thor.
remaster.
And if you know, if anybody knows about Randall Thor, he's like the man with a million gamer score. And he actually is like me. He hides all 360 games. He doesn't give a shit about backwards compatibility. And so, I mean, I don't know. 2% might be low. I mean, it might be just, you know,
Well,
it might have been based on.
I'm
It's
just
been a while
wondering if
since I've
there's
seen it. I
something that's
can't.
skewing that stat. Like maybe
Yeah,
the
I
Xbox
don't.
Live free games, they
And quite
somehow don't
honestly,
count or something like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, and quite honestly, whenever it comes to Xbox and them releasing numbers, a clear picture is really not what they paint.
There he goes with them lovely facts again.
Do you think they paint a clear picture with their words?
Well, no, but
No. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of companies do. It's not just
no,
Xbox.
they don't. Oh no, they don't. But I mean, like, the reason why I say that is because we were referring to Xbox. But
Yeah.
I don't think most companies, they're always looking for that market spin to make the bad look as just as interesting as the good.
That whole not being able to count digital sales things, that's like beyond me. That I really don't see how that's impossible to count. I mean,
Oh, like what they said, like there's no way for them to tell how many people got it through Game Pass and how many people bought it digitally. I'm like, yeah, you can. It's clear. Like there should be something in your thing. Who purchased this and who bought Game Pass?
there has to be like a download counter or something.
You would think
I mean,
something. But I mean, I think that was their will tell you exactly what the number was, because they do not want to tell you any concrete number unless it's like Halo 5 and it hits a big number. Other than that, they're pretty much hushed on numbers.
and they'll include
Unless it's
free
like-
play days in those numbers. Like, but
Yeah.
you can't do Game Pass versus purchases.
Yep. And then they'll come out with numbers like there's been 17 billion bullets fired in Gears 4. Like 1.14 billion hours spent gaming last week. And I'm like, who gives a shit?
And there's a system update available for Xbox. Oh yeah, let me do that one real quick.
That thing gets fucking updated more than anything that I've ever seen.
This is the third one in, I want to say, 4 days.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
And it's the same size, 376 megs. Every single
Yep.
one of them has been that size.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it keeps saying like for performance and stability, but I'm like, dear God, like how many? I mean, you can't fix it by now.
I can promise you there's no difference from like the way it performs with this update as
Oh,
a
yeah.
week ago. There's
Yep.
zero.
Or there might be one thing that's so minuscule that's faster that you'll never find it because you never go there.
They might load up the Blu-ray app faster.
Yeah. The fucking Blu-ray app. That just fucking irritates me. How the fuck does your Blu-ray player need a fucking app downloaded to be able to play a fucking Blu-ray? It should come preloaded and hid behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't know how it's not a part of the
Yeah.
operating system. I mean,
And that
obviously
makes no fucking sense.
the Blu-ray disc player has to work to load games and shit, so it's not like they don't have, it's not like they're downloading drivers or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, see, go get that seems simple enough. All these fucking, 6-figure salary motherfuckers can't cross-reference the users playing it on Game Pass versus the ones that aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just more or less along the lines of they don't want us to be able to figure out the amount of cells that it actually had.
Oh, guys, not Stonesy might be paying us a visit.
Oh, really?
Yep, because him and Brimstone are talking on Twitter, and Brimstone's calling him his downy little brother again.
Oh,
It's kind of late though. We
Alright.
can't do the bet. Cause okay, so Shaner,
Bet?
yeah, next time he comes in early, we're gonna just start banning him immediately, and we're gonna see how many times he comes back. How high can we get his different account number up to? And we'll pick numbers, 15, 20, 30, whatever, and see who gets the closest,
Okay, yeah, I get down with some shit like that.
right?
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, first we'd have to probably take a good guess at how many accounts he already has, and then how many
Oh,
more
yeah,
he's
that's
willing to
true,
make.
yeah.
Rambo's involved though, so he'll go to the moon and back for Rambo.
To the moon and
But yeah, we will only know, how many times he comes back. So we'll each have to guess on how many times that he's gonna make either grab one of his accounts that he's made or make a new account and come back into the chat bugging us, and we'll just keep banning
yeah,
him
but go get
immediately.
and if he does come in tonight, don't ban him now.
Yeah, it's too late. We want him when he gets in early, so it's the full time.
So we can really see how many he has.
J. Caesar says 20, and Cyrus wants to know if we can do like a lightning bet with an under and over.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Oh,
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the.
Fuck.
How's it going, Stonesy? Cyrus, he's calling it now. One. He's like the official timekeeper in a boxing match. He's gonna count him for us.
Oh man. Fucking A.
I wish we could say we didn't expect you, Stonesy. I really do, but
Mm.
we're sorry.
Is he in there?
Yeah, I destroyed YouTube.
Yes, the fucker, the virgin's back. The virgin's back, and you're gonna be in trouble. Hey now,
See, Rambo knows a song for you.
the virgin's back.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, you come in peace. You come in
Piece
piece of
maybe.
shit. No, I was reading the interaction between the two. It's so fucking petty. It's his typical dumb shit. Brimstone's Twitter versus my Twitter week. Keep in mind, Brim has 5 times my followers. This wasn't even close. But keep posting your weekly performance since you care. Just know my following dwarves, yours in activity and likes. Permission to say oof. Like that metric thing that automatic auto posts for Brim that says like my highlighted metric 686 mention reach or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, like Stonesy's comparing his to Brim. Like it's some sort of pissing contest. And Brim's like, I don't give a shit about that. And he's like, well, obviously do because you signed up for it. Like, no, motherfucker. Whenever you went in there and did that, like it was part of like another thing. You signed up for it and you did it. Like it wasn't really like, ooh, I can't wait to see what that was about. It was just a mindless thing to do. And I think we all wanted the first, second, third place to tweet out, to bullshit, like to say who's going to be first, second, and third every week. But if he's really trying to take how you always take our podcast and make a pissing match out of it? Well, now this is what he's taking the pissing match with.
So when Brimstone's next one comes out saying who his number one fan is, and it's you, what does that say? Because about once a week it says like in the person's it's like engaged with you.
Oh,
the
yeah,
most.
yeah.
I can guarantee you it'll be you, Stonesy.
It's just fucking sad at this point, man.
I mean, shit. If Rambo didn't like have you muted, you'd be at the top of Rambo's list every week.
Yep, I don't need him anymore. I just ignore his ass. I've learned that I'm very good at ignoring because I have 5 kids.
That's my superpower. I can look you straight in the face while you talk, tell me anything you want, and I can hear absolutely nothing.
Oh, bye-bye. We'll see you later, Theo and whatever the hell the other name you have is.
Be on your toes, Cyrus. You might be counting to 2 really quick.
Okay, so what is it? Critical Coins?
Critical Coins.
Yeah, it's a gaming website, I
Okay.
guess.
I thought you meant like there was like we was gonna talk about coins.
Oh no.
I was like, what the
thought
fuck
it was
is
cryptocurrency. I was like, which one's this now?
I was like, which ones are critical? I don't know.
The gold ones.
Oh,
Solving
fuck, I don't have any.
Solving toxicity isn't just systems, it's design.
What?
Yeah. So, no matter how many systems you put in place for a game, if the actual gameplay of the title is designed in such a way to promote toxicity, it will begin to fester. Titles like League of Legends are highly competitive, team-oriented, and are built on a premise of having a large understanding of how the game functions for you to succeed. Each of these points all factor into creating an environment that promotes toxicity. By being highly competitive, it means that players are high-strung as wins and losses matter more than other titles. If a player has a poor team, or if they are part of that poor team, Jesus, then it affects their standing and will likely become frustrated or upset. This feeds directly into the issues surrounding a team-oriented game. You can't simply, oh, come on, blah, 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 blah. Finally, there is an elitism associated with games that requires the player to have a certain understanding before they can truly be successful. Yes, you actually have to know about the game to have a good chance of winning.
Yeah, pretty much.
These three
Seems self-explanatory.
Right? These 3 aspects of the game are some of the main sources in this case that breeds toxicity. It is not, however, just these aspects alone, but others that compound further with these to make them worse. They are literally, this dude is literally, I said it, I called this shit fucking months ago when all this anti-toxicity shit started coming out, that they were going to start fucking doing that. Now it's no longer enough that you can get banned for using a Twitch emote or from spamming a voice line, and pretty soon it'll be for crouching at the wrong time because it'll be teabagging. But now they want the actual games themselves to be designed without competition or you needing to know the rules, because that breeds toxicity.
Wow.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, this dude is salty as fuck because he sucks ass at Dota, League of Legends, and Overwatch because he doesn't know the rules and he's not a very good player. And he's gonna sit here and call that toxicity and gatekeeping and all this other bullshit. I swear to God, bro. They're trying to turn everything into a kindergarten class where there's no fucking competition. Nobody has
Into
to
one giant face
lose.
space.
Everybody gets a trophy. Like, ugh. Fuck, man. God. There is no benefit for being against another person in your party, because in Monster Hunter, your fates are sealed together when hunting a new target. If there is no direct competition and working together only yields better results, then it's advantageous for players to help others, especially when it benefits themselves as well. Competition is bad because that means somebody could lose, and that makes toxicity.
Wow. How dare somebody lose?
Ugh.
That
I
was probably Shane that came up with that rule because he's so used to losing. And he's like,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
speaking of losing,
I gotta ask
uh,
Brem, because it says Monster Hunter is considered one of the friendliest communities, and I gotta ask him what he thinks of that.
well,
Yeah, I have the game. I just never played it.
speaking of losing, Shane decided to step up to the plate today and challenge me to a challenge that he's going.
Okay.
Like it was pretty straightforward.
Well,
I
for
said,
one, you think you're gonna get 50K in December? That's
I know I
almost
am.
impossible.
No, some guy got over 127K in February, in the shorter month.
Playing what games?
I don't know, but he played a shit ton of games. I can tell you that.
You're either gonna spend a lot of money on games that are easy 100%, or you're gonna die trying to get to 50K playing real games.
Well, I actually have a lot of games ready to go. Like I have like almost the entire Telltale series, and then some other easy 1,000. So I should be good. I should be able to hit 50,000 no problem. Now I want to see if you can hit 50,000.
Well, I'm saving the rest of the Telltale games I have for December.
So let's see what should we make it the gentleman's bet? Like, if I win, you have to play PlayStation for the rest of your life.
What?
If you win, I have to play Xbox for the rest of my life.
Yeah, see, but no. I'm actually curious, really, if you can hit 50K in a month. Because no one on my friends list has even hit over 10K in a month.
Oh, I've hit back whenever I got rid of my PS4 and I only had an Xbox One. I was hitting around 11 and 12,000 a month for the first 2 or 3 months.
And you were playing your ass off just to hit that.
I was just playing, like, yeah. I mean, I was for certain games or whatever. I was just simply just playing. I was having a really good time. That's all I had to play. So I mean, it was really easy. But see, that's what it is. I'm not playing on that platform until December. So like everything that comes out that I want to play is going to be ready in December for me to play, and I'm just going to knock them all out. Like Hellblade, that one's going to be ready in December. I'm not buying Crash Bandicoot again because that thing is fucking already hard on PS4, and I'm not going to try to fuck with it on the fucked up D-pad the Xbox has.
You have an Elite controller, a Pro controller, or whatever. Using the dish D-pad, it'd probably be easier.
It might be with the dish one, I don't know. But I feel like I was cheating on Sony if I bought the Crash 1, 2, and 3 on Xbox. I just can't do it. Can't pull myself to do that. Fucking Naughty Dog selling off like one of the major IPs. I mean, I guess it's for the better. They went on to create Uncharted and last, but still.
That's the thing. They haven't made a Crash game in forever. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. They only made Crash 1, 2, and 3, and then after that it was all multiplayer.
Hey,
And maybe
don't forget the Crash
Team Racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sony's attempt to get in on the Mario Kart shit.
Yeah, that didn't work out well.
No, it really didn't.
Now their PlayStation All Star Battle Royale.
I actually like that.
Yeah, that one actually like it was supposed to be their version of Smash Brothers, and it actually is pretty good. They actually did a pretty good job with that one.
Everyone like hated on it, but I liked it.
Didn't really catch on though. Certainly not.
No, not
Certainly not like
it
Smash
definitely-
Brothers.
Yeah, definitely not on the Smash Brothers level. No.
Then again, though, nothing catches on that Nintendo exclusive level. Nothing.
Oh no.
Well,
Not really.
no. As far as fighting games go, there's a couple that they give it a run for its money.
As many people that know Halo and Uncharted and stuff, you can ask them about Mario. They all know more about Mario than they do those titles. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is on that Nintendo IP level.
Well, like what?
Did you know Pokemon is the biggest media IP out there?
I believe it.
Bigger than Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I fucking wouldn't argue against it. That's for sure.
Yep. It's fucking insane.
But like the yearly fighting game tournament, Evo.
Yeah.
There's a couple of fighters that get real close to the number of people that Smash get.
Oh yeah,
What
well,
do you
like
mean?
Street Fighter, yeah.
Yeah, and but even like Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, although not really the new one.
Yeah, I heard the new one sucks.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's all the cool characters are gone. I mean, even Guilty Gear, they had a shitload of people playing those, and it was getting up there. I mean, you know, Smash was still the biggest one, but it wasn't nearly as massively bigger as it has been in previous years.
Last time I saw Smash like at an all-time high level was the GameCube version. Was it Melee? I think it was called.
Melee, yeah.
A fucking Nintendo gamers still talk about that one.
Yeah. I know people that still play it.
Same with the Mario Kart on there. I think it was what, Double Dash, right?
I can't remember that one.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are still people that I know talk about the GameCube fucking Mario Kart. I think that was like their like PlayStation 2, like they'll never let it go. Is the GameCube like? And like I guess they really shouldn't either. It was a great console for what it was.
Did it
I just hated
outsell
little
the?
disc thing.
Did it outsell the 64?
I believe so. It's
Was-
the last Nintendo console that I like really enjoyed.
Was it their highest selling console? Or was
No,
that
the
SNES?
Wii was.
Is that or okay? Without Wii, is it
It's a SNES.
is it SNES? Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was either a 64 or GameCube was the highest of those, the real consoles, not the gimmick consoles.
GameCube was the last one that was built like a fucking tank, though. I mean, you couldn't break those things if you tried.
Well, shit, it was a cube of plastic.
Well, yeah, but like, have you ever broken a SNES or a regular NES?
No.
I haven't. But their clamshell shit, like the DS, the 3DS, I've went through 2 of those.
That's why DS is stupid. Just one screen, you idiots. Fuck, does there need to be 2 screens for? It's the silliest shit I've ever heard of. Ugh. So, I fucking hate to be referencing its Compete, which is Deadspin and Kotaku. But they've got a leak of Overwatch League's code of conduct.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Oh, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. So, although they say that it was updated and they don't have any of the updates, and it's labeled version 1.0. So it could be that some of these have been altered or something like that, but yeah, I don't know. But so let's see. The league has a rule against more than 2 Overwatch League players joining up to play together, because at that point they will be deemed to be playing as a, quote, team. The pros can't stream any game during the period 1 hour before or 1 hour after any league event. The streaming of all Blizzard games must be in standard game modes, so no mods.
Or competitive. Or, well, no, that's a standard.
That's a standard, yeah, but no custom games, I guess. And no, you can't use any other software that impacts the performance of the game, which...
You falling asleep, Rambo?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
You just that sick? Because it sounds like you're like growling or snoring.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's my phlegm or whatever inside my chest.
Bro, Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah, I need some.
Pro players are also not allowed to stream any other organized competitive play, such as any tournament or custom game. That rule applies to any game, Blizzard made or not. Speaking of which, if they're playing a Blizzard game, the pros had better not... If they're not playing a Blizzard game, the pros had better not say they recommend it, even in passing. Players may not directly or indirectly endorse the playing or purchasing of any non-Activision Blizzard game in any manner, including by making any calls to purchase or making any statements which constitute endorsement.
What's up, Stonesy?
Oh Lord.
He's back
like
with
that.
Down syndrome.
Like that wasn't a calling card.
In no event may any streaming include any video game content, actions, comments, language, or any other material that could be expected to bring any player, the league, any of its teams, any direct or indirect owner of any team, any executive or other employee of the league, Activision, Blizzard, or any of its games, products, or services, or any broadcaster, disruptor, sponsor, licensee, or other business partner of the league or any of its teams into disrepute.
Can they like not drink anything with a label on camera too? Is that like, I mean,
it gets worse.
Damn.
Overwatch League pros have to worry about bad behavior on the part of their fans as well. They must make reasonable efforts towards discouraging any commentary that would bring any protected entity into disrepute. In a section of the streaming policy called the off-limits list, the league lays out rules on how players can't accept sponsorships or marketing affiliations with porn sites, gambling, casino companies, distributor of tobacco, alcohol, cannabis, non-Blizzard games. This list also includes a rule against endorsing political candidates or ballot initiatives. The league has the right to ask players to take down any content they wish, and if the pros refuse to comply, they'll be subject to discipline from the league. By the way, the league has the right to use and exploit any of the pro players' streams of Blizzard games for any purpose, such as advertising. The league can also modify this streaming policy at any time. The Overwatch...
Dear Lord.
Dude, yeah. The Overwatch League rulebook also includes a code of conduct for player behavior, kicking off with a section about how the league can decide any and all punishments, which range from reprimands, fines, suspensions, debarment, and or disqualifications, with the exact punishment getting determined by the league. Yeah, team members and owners may not use obscene or offensive gestures or profanity in their tags, player handles, game chat, live play communications, lobby chat, shoulder content, interviews, or other public-facing communications of any kind.
Dear Lord.
As a general provision against drugs, the Overwatch rulebook gets more specific by banning illegal drugs as well as alcohol or marijuana. The rulebook does permit prescription drugs so long as they're actually prescribed to the player in question, unless that prescription is for marijuana.
But
Wow.
they'll allow an Adderall prescription?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Section outlawing harassment and discrimination based on age or sex, blah, 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 blah. There's also a section outlawing any false, defamatory, libelous, or slanderous remarks, comments, or statements. And the best for last, the section about how the league owns the rights to turn the players' entire lives into a reality show if they so choose.
Oh, good lord.
If the league office
They
elects,
control their lives?
dude, if the league office elects to create reality programming, the right and license of the league office or its designee to film, televise, webcast, photograph, identify, and otherwise record each team member and his or her daily life activities and interactions with others using persistent 24/7 cameras that may be placed in the team house, training facility, competition venue, and other locations frequented by team
Holy
members.
fuck.
Right? And
Like you were literally, I mean, like people joke around about like when you're signing papers, like it's time to sign my life away.
bruh.
You were literally fucking signing your life away.
Pro players have also granted the league permission to license their likeness and gaming handles and even their public persona, gameplay data and stats, biographical information, backstory, and any streams. The deal includes derivative work, so if the league decides to make a hit cartoon based on Gaguri's real-life story, she wouldn't see a cent. It's a perpetual, royalty-free, fully paid-up worldwide right and license, with the right to grant sub-licenses.
Before you know it, there's going to be a Pro Players History Month, just like Black History Month.
Dude, I just saw a thing, too, that pro players are trying to organize a union, and with this shit, I'm totally with it. Because fucking...
Yeah, Mixing Mutt says Blizzard became a house commie.
Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, Blizzard needs to... This shit all started with fucking StarCraft 2 and how there were... You couldn't... what was it? They stopped local online play. So you couldn't do a tournament without involving Blizzard. Because they controlled all the games through Battle.net. Yeah, Cobra, this shit is getting absolutely out of fucking control. And like this fucking shit, it's fucking absolutely nonsense. They really need to fucking start heavy on these fucking like right to repair and other laws like that. Like, especially that one that was going to stop. I can't remember what the exact wording of it was, but it was basically the companies would no longer be allowed to like sue or otherwise take down people who run like custom servers for World of Warcraft and shit, because we need to get these fucking companies out of the fucking esports industry.
Yeah.
They have no business. I mean, Blizzard, I'm sorry. You make the games. That's fucking it. Like, what you're trying to do would be like the NFL owning ESPN.
Right. I mean, conflict of interest.
And not only that, the NFL, they own ESPN and they own every store that sells NFL merchandise, and they own, and they're putting up cameras in every player's house and shit. It's just fucking not. I mean, I've heard some shit that like pro athletes have had to sign, like clauses that they can't ride motorcycles or, skydive because it's too dangerous and shit like that. But like, dude, this shit is just, it's fucking out of control.
Yeah, this goes beyond that. Way beyond that.
I mean, Chris, I really I love Evo is one of my favorite things. I look forward to it every year. So esports as an idea, as a concept, definitely has a lot of potential, because dude, how many people what was it? It was several 100,000 people were watching live. There were probably a few dozen thousand people actually there. Three, Cyrus. Um, there was, I know we had every continent except
No, that
for,
is 4. That is 4.
was that four?
Yeah, that is 4. Cyrus is right.
We had every continent except, I mean, Antarctica for sure, but I don't know about Africa. I don't know if we had any players at the tournament for from Africa, but there might have been. Who knows about that? But definitely every other continent except for those two, and I think it was a few dozen the country count for where the players were from, and from we almost had viewers from practically every country in the world watching for those 3 days that the Evo tournament was going on. And I could only imagine how much money was dumped into, because I think it's Las Vegas is where they held it, but into the area where they were at, just for hotels and food and catering and all
Probably
the,
quite a bit.
yeah, all the shit that they're buying. I mean, dozens of companies would spend tens of thousands of dollars sponsoring a player to go from Japan or South Korea or whatever. So I can only imagine how many, probably millions of dollars were being spent just for all the stuff that was happening. So
I can't get into esports, so like watching somebody play a game is not my idea of fun.
I mean, there's definitely money in it, but yeah, what Blizzard's trying to do, it's like, I mean, they're trying to monopolize everything, and that's the thing. You guys know nothing about what makes this stuff good,
Mm.
especially because they're trying to make everything fucking Nerf, and no cussing and no anything. I mean, dude, half the reason everybody watches Evo is because the fucking, the commentators are fucking talking mad shit, and it's so much fucking fun. Like nobody wants to watch video games where everything is, where they're commentating like it's the Olympics.
No, it's fucking boring then.
Yeah. This is, esports is never going to be the Olympics, so stop trying to make it that.
I wish they would.
It's like, I get it. Video game.
Chris,
What? Oh, yeah, trophy.
I have my own. That's my own sport. I wish that was an esport. That'd be nice, man. I'd be able to get some money from that. Well, I
He's
do
making
get
money at
but
it, so
I would get more money from it actually being classed as an esport.
But
I
yeah,
think I have like $160 some now.
shit.
save up enough, you can get a PS5.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But they expire. They expire though. I think like August of next year.
Mm.
So if the PS5 doesn't come out before August or whatever, I'm gonna have to spend them on something.
Get a new TV.
Yeah, by then I might be able to. Have them ship me one of those like high end Q or not QLED, but
The OLED ones?
or a CLED.
Oh Jesus, there's another one now?
Yeah, CLED is actually supposed to be more expensive than OLED, and that's supposed to be even better than OLED.
I don't see it how it can actually be better. I really don't. Like,
For one, there's no burn in.
I thought
Like,
OLEDs
if you
don't
leave it-
burn in though.
They do. But you have to leave them on, for quite some time for that to happen. But they do burn in. Because the one up at Sam's where you look is actually burnt in. Like, you can see the newscasters' heads and shit like that. Or the commercials' head, like the people in the commercial, their heads. You can see that on the screen while we're, watching like the natures and shit.
Hmm.
And they said that the older models did burn in. The newer ones, they've kind of fixed it a little bit better.
The same thing happened with plasmas when
Oh
newer
yeah,
ones
I
were
remember
burning.
that.
I mean, shit, I almost never turn my TV off. It's always on for noise.
So that's funny. You turn your computer off, but not your TV.
Yeah.
So OLEDs and all the ones previous, it's the each pixel. There's a light behind each pixel,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously with the LEDs it's an LED, and with the LCDs it's usually a light bulb or something, or a other type of backlighting. Okay, 5. And then each color of the pixel is either covered or uncovered by the LCD to make it whatever color you want. With the CLED, each pixel is illuminated independently.
Yeah, CLED is no joke,
Yeah.
Shit.
but it is expensive.
Well, yeah, that means you need an LED for each pixel.
Yep. At 4K. That's a lot of pixels.
And shit, the one they had at CES 2017 was 32 feet by 9 feet with a resolution of 8,000 by 2,000.
Dear God.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It's expensive just to fill your house, like all the lamps in your house with quality LED bulbs. So imagine what it is for a fucking TV, a 4K TV at that.
Yeah, I think this is the one that was like $6,000 or $8,000, and that was like the model as it was going out, and the new one was coming in. But I think they're around anywhere from like $10,000 to $20,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely not my type of money. I would like one, but my wife would kill me, and rightfully so.
See, if Rambo could drive, then his wife would have to put like, I don't know, like fucking flyers in front of Best Buy saying, "Don't let this man in here," and definitely don't let him apply for a credit card.
Yep. It would be dangerous. There's a reason for everything.
I happen to live like 45 minutes from a Best Buy, so I'm safe.
Until you decide to go to Best Buy.
Yeah.
That's not that far away.
It's probably why she never leaves a debit card with me. Especially around payday. No, it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, she makes sure she has that.
But it is saved to my Xbox, so I win there.
Let's see.
What are you talking about, Go Get?
Oh, he's talking to, what's his name? Theo Sinister. Yeah. I look at like that when they bring up my disability and shit like that. Like, they're looking for a reaction, and so whenever they're looking for one, it's not worth giving.
Yeah, Shadowkin, OLED pixels emit their own light, but that doesn't mean that each pixel is run independently or lighted independently. So it's probably
each pixel is its own bulb. Yeah.
In the CLEDs. In the OLEDs, it's probably groups of like probably all the blue pixels.
Yeah, clusters. If I remember right.
So there'll be a blue LED for a cluster of like 8 pixels, and the same thing for the red and the green. And and then each of the individual pixels is covered or uncovered with LCD.
So for the CLEDs, every
Single
fucking
pixel
is an RGB bulb.
Yeah, no. Well, no, they're LEDs.
Oh, okay.
So they're colored LEDs. I don't know if it's a single. It doesn't say whether it was a single pixel with it was a single pixel with each of the 3 colors in it, or if it was the standard 3 separate colors, and then for each one of those 3 separate colors would be a different LED bulb. But I mean, really, it doesn't really matter all that much. Because I don't know if they have true RGB LEDs yet.
That I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think all the RGB technology they use just uses groups of the 3 different, one red, one blue, and one green LED. Not one single LED that can change color. But yeah, that's fucker's pricey though.
Yep, and it's badass. I mean, imagine that picture is just beautiful.
Rambo's like, if I could get it financed, don't think for a second I wouldn't.
Oh God, I would. Yeah.
You're like, you know what? That might be worth my wife leaving. You don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, like, babe, I bought this. You can leave. Just don't take this.
That'll be the one thing she gets in the divorce. You can have
Yeah.
the kids, the car
I'd
you
be
can't
so
drive, all that shit.
I'd be so
but-
fucking pissed. Be like, no. And then I see her on eBay selling it for a fucking $1.
Chris, don't be giving him ideas.
Oh no, I know, not with loans. No. Them fuckers, man, like they're some shiesty bastards. At least the loans that I can get approved for. The bank would look at me like, get the fuck out of here.
You're right, Halo. The good TVs are just fucking, they're too much money.
That's why I like my cheap TVs.
I'm hoping eventually through all these data breaches that somebody eventually steals my identity and makes it better.
I know, right? I like when Equifax got hacked, I was like, oh shit, I might have a reason for bad credit now. Like, I could blame it on someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, that's why, or no, it wasn't Chris that said that. Halo. That's why I love, like, my favorite TV brand is probably Vizio. Because they're great pictures and they're not going to break the bank. I mean,
Yeah, they definitely are cheaper. They just don't have like the OLED technology, which that really sucks because I mean the OLED is just really beautiful compared to the other ones. But I mean, buying an LG OLED is pretty damn expensive. Well, I say they don't have OLED, they might though.
actually, like, with as much as, like, I'm always, like, busting Rambo's balls about the Sony thing, best TV I've ever had and still have is a Sony Bravia. I mean, it's from a couple of years ago, but it's still
They
looks
make
great.
some-
I mean,
They make some fucking great TVs. The only problem is they're just proud of their TVs.
the only part I don't like about it is it's a smart TV and it doesn't have Hulu, but it has Amazon Video and Netflix. I mean, but a couple of years ago, I don't think Hulu was a standard like it is today.
Oh, maybe not. I don't remember really.
Which means in order to watch South Park, I have to plug in my Roku stick, which that's inconvenient. But I still do it.
Why don't you just leave it plugged in?
Well, I do, but you know what I mean. Grab the remote and switch inputs. or
Oh dear
whatever.
God! Like you really have to pick up another remote? The whore.
There are too many remotes nowadays.
Oh, I
Too
gotta
many.
know. I know, man. Like, they're just fucking everywhere. They keep fucking multiplying.
And then you can get the remote app on your phone. So, like, every device you have plugged into your TV has a physical remote, plus you can get that shit on your phone.
Yep.
90% of the problems that I hear Dad or Honey about could be fixed if there was one fucking remote.
Oh, yeah.
And if you didn't have to press TV or auxiliary or whatever to get it to operate on that device, if that one remote just did everything from like a few pushes of a button, I would not be bugged by my children or my wife about technology almost ever.
I get bugged all the damn time. Like, it's so fucking frustrating.
Oh,
It's
wait,
like, have y'all
you
even
have Roku
tried?
sticks, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is that remote like the size of a potato chip? It's tiny.
Yeah, don't ask me. I have no fucking clue. That thing is so damn small. It is tiny as hell.
It's because they want you to lose it and go spend $40 on another one. I know.
Pretty
'Cause I
much,
bought
probably.
2 extras.
I've not done that yet, but I'm sure I will one day.
Oh my God. None of these are saying whether the OLED uses, because I don't think it's the way they light is it's a substrate layer sandwiched between two. What's the tech term for it? Two conductors with a substrate layer sandwiched in between them, and you apply electrical current to the conductor sides, and the spot where you're putting the electrical current, that lights up. But none of them say whether the pixels are. So is it that there are 3 tiny spots of the where you would put the electrodes to the conductive layers, and each one is a different color? I think that has to be how it is, rather than one spot for each pixel, and the pixel can change color. I don't know. You'd have to be able to see an OLED up close. Oh, did that Wikipedia article have it?
But you're not supposed to get too close to TVs.
No, yeah, okay. Here, Shadowkin, look. Here's a magnified image of the AMOLED screen. Each there are separate colors. And that's the difference. The difference with the CLED is the color, the pixels I don't think have separate colors.
I'm gonna get a drink.
I think. That's got to be what it is.
I don't know, I'm sure somebody can tell us something about it.
Well, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of info on it because, I mean, they're really not even out for
consumer.
Yeah, there aren't any really consumer models. There's just that one that you can buy panels for or whatever.
Did Shane leave?
He went to go grab something real quick.
Ah, I didn't think I heard him say that. Theo's still active.
Yeah, thanks for the laughs, Theo.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. You didn't derail anything. Okay. So do you think there'll be a God of War PS4 Pro? I mean, not God of War, Spider-Man?
Hmm. Uh, I could see him doing that.
I think there will be because I mean that's a huge IP.
Yeah, I mean,
So I can see them getting behind it and making a pro. I think it'll sell quite a bit.
it'd be kind of weird. What, would they just do like the spider and then the, red pattern? Red
They
and,
kind of have to.
I mean, yeah, it'd be, I wouldn't see him doing like an actual picture of Spider-Man.
Oh no, that's
That,
more like a skin.
yeah, that just doesn't, that wouldn't
I
seem
think
like,
it'll be the top layer and the bottom layer will be red. The silver Spidey, spider will be in the middle on the top of the console, and that middle layer will be blue.
yeah, I could see that.
And then of course like the red controller with a blue back to a controller.
Sure.
It's getting scarce with uh shit. What game was that? Forgot. Never mind. I forgot. What the hell? Another person?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if that's,
That's number 5.
no, that'd be 6, I think.
Oh, 6 feet. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he came in twice.
No, no, yeah, 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a pro, I'd probably get that Spider-Man themed pro.
Yeah, Chris. I got a pro, but I'm getting the God of War one, and I'm gonna give my son the Star Wars one that I have, and then I'm gonna give the PS4 Slim that he has to my wife. And then if they make a Spider-Man God of War Pro, I'm gonna buy that one too.
A Spider-Man
But I'm
God of
probably
War
gonna,
Pro.
oh, sorry, a Spider-Man PS4 Pro. Um, if they make that, then I'll probably buy that and keep that one in the box
Jesus.
because that one might end up being worth some money. It would be nice if they actually did a custom, like especially like for God of War and stuff. They just made the custom Pro and the custom Slim, so that way for anybody who wants to pick it up, like pick up a Slim, they can for cheaper, and whoever wants a Pro can get the Pro. That would be nice to see that. But have y'all noticed that Sony keeps pushing like with their commercials, the PS4 Pro a lot more now? I'm thinking it's getting closer to the end of the gen, where they'll basically make the cutoff to the PS4 Pro and the PS5.
Yeah.
Kind of like you have to upgrade to one of the.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they certainly haven't said anything about the PS5. Not like, what's his name with, there'll be no more generations with Xbox.
Yeah, that was Phil Spencer that said that.
Spencer, yeah. So, I mean, they could either do it to where the PS4 through the 5 can all run the same games, or they could
Yeah,
just cut it off and say either the Pro or just the 5 are the new generation or whatever.
but the question I have is, will the new hardware be gimped because it has to keep up with like even though it has say if it does have a Ryzen Vega, will that be held back by the Jaguar 4.2 teraflop thing that we have?
Dude, it is every fucking generation.
Huh?
The new technology is always held back. I mean, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, this one would be so because if they're trying to keep the PS4 Pro relevant after the PS5 launch, and that means they would have to launch on both systems, which could end up making the developers making it for the lower end. And then, of course, it would also guarantee to run on the higher end.
I don't know.
I don't know why people are so excited for next gen. Like, it seems like when
The fuck?
That I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, live, stream health green.
there we go.
There we go. Yep.
That was weird, but all right. Anyway, you guys were saying.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, I
actually,
can't remember.
I was just saying.
Oh,
like, Chris said he's not one of the ones looking forward to next gen, but and I'm right there with you. Like I was saying, I just got comfortable with the hardware, the way things work, and now everyone's like, "Oh, did you hear this is coming out?" I don't fucking care.
we can see some.
You
Like
wanna know
Sony
why?
has like a. Well, go ahead.
You want to know why? It's
Why?
because they're not PCs.
Fuck
Well,
the PC. Coming straight from the underground.
Because they can't upgrade,
Because I'm brown.
and they see all the shiny new graphics on PC and they want it. But you know,
Why do we need an Xbox 2, Halo? I mean, there's a flip side to that coin.
An Xbox One Xbox.
Yeah, whatever it's going to be called. They're going to just add another X onto Xbox because they can.
Well, you never can predict Microsoft's name.
Or you know what it's going to be? Is there, instead of the O in Xbox, it's going to be a 0.
Yeah.
We all know someone else that did that, right? Rambo.
I don't know what you're talking about. Rainbow is spelled with a 0.
see, how would they go further with it though? Because Xbox One X spells Xbox, but then how would they start that? Like, do it again to where it makes
Yeah,
a
they would-
third thing. I don't. Yeah.
The Xbox One X is what they have, so they would put Xbox One Xbox.
But that's not another level though. That's just continuing it.
Yeah,
Rambo
I guess.
counts on them to go to that level of autism.
I don't. When it comes to trying to guess, Xbox's new name, that's a losing battle every time.
I know, it seems like
Like,
they fuck it up
They have no
intentionally.
they have no fucking system in place. But I can understand your frustration, Shane, with like getting comfortable and stuff. But like Sony has like a kind of like a predetermined way to go, and like they'll wait for a little while, get their exclusives out, and then like start like really hitting you with exclusives. And then once they got all the studios making games for the system, that's when they're starting to like transition over to the next system and keep on that going. But this time, I think that your system will be backwards compatible. It just won't be forwards compatible. Meaning, if you want to play a PS5 game, you do have to buy a PS5. But if you have a PS5, you can always play a PS4 game.
Okay. And maybe it's just because I'm married and have kids, but like when these new fucking gaming consoles come out, no matter how expensive or cheap they are, it's still like a purchase that I can't just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go buy this. It's something that needs to be discussed and planned for, and it's like, fuck, And I hate doing that shit. I'd rather just have it and play it.
Oh yeah. I think we all would there. But it would be nice if they made a modular console to where we could just upgrade as we go.
Yeah.
You mean like a PC?
But Yeah, but there's too many fucking dumb people on console that would seriously fuck up their consoles with that modular one.
I know of people putting in graphics cards backwards, sideways, fucking different
Mm-hmm.
ways. So breaking off PCI Express slots off the motherboard. Can you imagine what they do with the modular console?
No, I wouldn't even want to be the person on the other end of that for the troubleshoot.
I don't think they could pay tech support that much.
No, it'd be like, send it in. I mean, my default answer to everything, send it in.
Then they wouldn't be able to pay shipping and receiving that much. I mean, because they would all come back.
Oh, yeah. It'd all come back saying, this is not covered.
Well, it wouldn't be hard if they would use. See, that's the thing. They'd have to use proprietary, like, you'd make instead of the graphics card looking like a discrete with a PCI slot with the slim fiberglass thing, you would just make it to where it's more like a big cartridge and it only goes in one way because it's got like a big slot on one side or something like that. But that would make it horrendously expensive because you'd have to design all that shit and manufacture it basically from scratch.
Yeah, like fucking Apple does that with their phone chargers. Go buy a new charger for your fucking iPhone. That's going to be twice as expensive as a micro USB cable, if not more than twice as expensive.
Yep. So it's coming, Chris. I'll bet you. I don't know about PS5 or maybe not PS6, but sometime it's gonna come. Because that's the thing, redesigning this shit. It's, I mean, PS3 to PS4. That's, except for the change from like GDDR5 to GDDR6. Like,
see, and that's another thing. We need to skip a generation here so we notice another hardware leap. Like,
well, I think you would notice a Ryzen Vega.
Yeah, that one you probably definitely would, but that's if it's Ryzen Vega.
Yeah, that is a big if.
Yeah, I don't think no hard drive. Okay, I just read because in one of the things about the PS5 leaks, they were saying in order to do streaming 4K content, at bare minimum, you're looking at a 25 megabyte per second connection.
Yep.
And that's just for the graphics. So you're going to need more on top of that for all the game information and shit like that, which obviously is not as large as the graphics, but still, it's not nothing. So, I mean, we're talking somewhere between like a 25 and maybe 30 or 35 megabyte, not bit, by the way. So not what your
if you got 25 down and 10 up now, that's not what he's talking about.
Yeah, like mine, it's 170. I just tested. It's 170 something. That's megabits. So divided by 8, that's like 22. So even my fairly expensive Comcast connection would not be enough to stream 4K game content to a hard drive-less console. So I mean, even 1080p. That's the thing. It's like the cloud is not that powerful. I don't care what.
Shut your mouth. That's 4 Titans
I
powerful.
don't care what Microsoft
God.
said. They're full of shit because the cloud is not that powerful. And
are you challenging Godfill himself?
I am.
Oh
and I'm
God.
sorry. I don't care how good your connection is. There will always be lag in between. You make a movement on the controller, and then you got to send that signal to the fucking cloud server, and then the cloud server has to make the calculations for what happens in the game, and then it's got to send the shit back to you so that your character moves. That's not an efficient way to do this shit. It's just not. Until we've got fiber speed Wi-Fi in the air everywhere on Earth because Elon Musk's satellite internet network has been implemented, and
That would be nice.
I don't know, fucking, everybody's got, 1,000 megabyte per second connection right from their Wi-Fi or something. That's just not gonna, it just doesn't make any sense.
Just because he wears t-shirts and blazers does not mean he's a hippie, Chris. He's just
definitely
well-dressed.
Yeah, he's definitely rich.
Every executive wears Converse shoes to a big press conference. Don't you know that?
We have to see one, but maybe those Microsoft execs do.
I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He's a fucking
Oh, God.
billionaire. Dude looks
He's
like
a-
an alien. So,
He's a fucking lizard.
oh, yeah.
Dude is fucking Data from Star Trek.
Yeah, I can see that.
He would probably make a great fucking addition to a Star Trek movie, but watch everyone bitch if he got casted.
Well, he's just another straight white male.
He's as close to the real thing as you would get, though, when it comes to some of the shit they find on those planets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is the whole electric car problem. Is the most efficient way to power something is almost always to put the generator, whatever that is, on the thing itself. And so, like with electric cars, all of the inefficiency from pumping power through the lines and then the power through the charger and then to overcome the resistance of the battery and then all that, that's a lot of wasted efficiency built into whatever inefficiency is also a part of the power plant, as opposed to when it's a gas car, you just have the inefficiency of the gasoline motor itself. And I think the same thing, it applies to computers, where it's just more efficient to have, even if the cloud is all powerful, it's just more efficient to have a smaller computational device that's right next to you so that there's not lag and shit when it comes to games. And I don't really see that changing.
No. It'll be interesting to see if Crackdown's still using the cloud.
Is it supposed to?
Yeah, it's supposed to use the correct cloud for destruction. Like every building is supposed to be capable of being destroyed.
Right.
I'm sad that got delayed till next year.
It did?
I thought it did. Am I wrong?
Look
I hope
it up
I'm
right
wrong.
now.
Yeah, we haven't got any news on Crackdown yet. But
Or was it last year it got delayed to this
Crackdown
year?
3 delayed
Yeah.
till 2018. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
because
God.
Phil Spencer came back and responded to somebody the other day that said they'll have some news and info on it pretty quickly. But that was last week, so I don't know when.
You hear Rambo perk right up like it's fucking Christmas. Like,
Right.
oh, where's my Twitter?
So is it a multiplayer game?
It has
It
multiplayer.
will
in it.
have like co-op, yeah.
Okay, but it's a single player type of game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing they're using the cloud for is for the breaking up of the buildings?
No, I don't know if
They're
that's the only thing they're
fully
using it for.
destructible though, like
But-
fully.
Yeah, from what I understand, I mean that's everything is completely fully destructible. The whole damn level.
That doesn't make much sense to me though, because like the only thing I would think like you would want to use it for the cloud is if it was multiplayer, because that's one of the things from like the battlefields when they introduce destructible buildings is that sometimes two people, because the building's destructibleness was done on each person's computer, two people would see the same building and the rubble wouldn't be in the same place. So like one person would think he would be hidden because he'd be under some rubble, but in the other person's screen he wasn't, because in their game it went in a different spot. So I could see them wanting to use the cloud to like synchronize that over like a multiplayer game or
I
something.
believe
But
they
yeah.
were using the cloud so the game wasn't like huge,
Mm,
like the download and stuff.
okay, I guess for like all the little pieces maybe.
Yeah, so they didn't have to render all those particle effects and everything into the actual game file.
Well, and probably like the game will have the textures and the meshes for the actual buildings, but for while it's breaking down and then when it's broken, the cloud sends the meshes and the textures for the little pieces as they're falling and then when they're on the ground, so that you don't have to have separate shit for all of that. That I guess makes some sense. Still kind of weird though.
I'm just ready for actual Crackdown 3 release date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, that was me, but that's my breathing.
Yeah, he's not feeling well.
Dude, if any of your kids have asthma, go use their nebulizer.
Oh, they don't anymore. We don't have any of that stuff anymore.
Oh shit, that's too bad.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to have a breathing treatment.
Yeah, Vicks
Without
though.
going to the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vicks should help, and then yeah, I would definitely, since you got that prescription, I would just start taking that that amoxicillin.
Yeah, I took one tonight. I'm gonna start taking it like the 3 times a day.
Yeah, I mean, won't hurt.
No.
You know, it's just amoxicillin, so.
It's not like Drano like Pete was taking.
Oh my god, I swear to God, bro. Fucking window cleaner or some shit.
Yuck.
Dude, you could smell it from like a couple feet away when I opened the bottle.
Damn.
Yeah, it was powerful fucking shit. It had me flying too.
There is good weed you can't smell from that.
Yeah, it said, you know, you might experience dizziness and some other shit, and yes, I did.
I was like, shit, you might be getting that smell.
But it worked though. Well, so far it seems like it worked. I am slowly but surely getting a little better. So that's at least something.
I think Xbox is broken, Rambo. They're not counting my 360 achievements for this month's leaderboard. It says I still have earned 0 because all I've played is 360 games this month.
Oh, wow. That's not good. Oh, there were some people, though, that said that they were missing 10 to 12,000 gamer score. Like, they woke up and turned it on, and, like, gamer score was just taken away. And so they said that what you need to do, customer care said to remove your account from your Xbox and then re-put your account back on your Xbox. And that should fix it.
It's 6, by the way.
Does that fuck up family share?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool. Because Brimstone and I have set that thing up like 5 or 6 times. I'm just waiting on Microsoft to go, nope, can't do it now. You got to wait.
Yeah, that
Which
I think
they will do if you fuck with the home Xbox thing. You're only allowed to do that so many times in a year.
Yeah, I think all you got to do is just, like when it asks you if you want to set it for your home, just skip that part.
Yeah. Halo Storm says that 360 games don't count for the leaderboard.
They used
to.
Any achievements you got, right?
No, they can. No, they count in your gamer score. They don't count in the leaderboard.
Oh, well, it's doing that. It's just not counting for the leaderboard.
Yeah, it doesn't count in the leaderboard. I forget about that.
Oh,
he is right though.
Bitch. All I've played is Cars 2 this month because it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, Cars 2's not bad. I've been playing it on PS Now every once in a while, and it's not that bad.
If
I don't.
Cars
I
3
mean,
is similar, it might be worth a purchase, just not $60.
yeah, I'm waiting for that thing to go cheaper.
Is that just Crash 3?
Crash 3.
No, not Cars 3.
No,
Oh,
Cars
Cars
like
3.
the Disney
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I
deal.
thought you
Yeah.
said Crash 3, and I was like, wait, I thought that was a.
What is it, trilogy?
Yeah, I thought it came as a trilogy,
Yeah.
not. And I was gonna say, yeah, Crash 3 for $60. That's not a great deal.
Trust me, when that shit comes out, I'll get it.
Well,
And I'll
yeah,
live
all
stream it
three
for
for
Rambo.
$60. Yeah. Man, I might get it. Oh yeah.
What's funny is that they launched No Man's Sky for $50 on Xbox One.
I'm not buying that shit.
No, I don't blame you. You already have C.
I still haven't even gotten on a boat in that game yet.
Jesus.
I did it back in the alpha and beta, but I mean, I'm not really interested in going in there and farting around for 3 missions or whatever. I'll just wait for them to add some content.
No apologies, Rip, because we don't care.
You actually proved a little further up in that chat that you are Stonesy, but
I
we'll
know,
just
right?
leave it at that.
That's the dumb part is like he can't even keep up with his own fucking troll.
I mean, you mentioned Goget said definitely not Stonesy, but nobody that's wasn't directed at you per se. So the fact that you assume that we're talking about you just proves that you are.
Yep.
Because that was the only mention of Stonesy before you said I'm not Stonesy. So if you really weren't Stonesy, how the fuck would you know that we were talking about you?
Have you guys ever played Cluster Truck?
No, but I have seen that that's either on sale or on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. Apparently, it's designed to make you throw your controller. So don't even bother with that shit. It's just jumping from top of big rig truck to top of big rig truck.
Oh yeah, I have
And
played that. Yeah, that is
fuck that
frustrating.
shit.
That is fucking frustrating as hell.
I mean, yeah, see, Chris knows what I'm talking about too. That game is like,
Oh, I guess Amazon Mexico, I think, or well, if I can get back into Twitter. Yeah, Amazon Mexico listed Spyro Reunited Trilogy, releasing September 21st.
I'm hoping for that. I really am. Like, even though it's
Yeah,
not an
no
Xbox
kidding.
game, that's gonna be cool.
It'll eventually become an Xbox game.
You know, maybe eventually, like Crash did, but not right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be right off the bat.
Like, there are some instances, well, not some, there are a lot of instances in gaming where I just like to see people get what they want. And God, for how many years now have we heard, I want another Spyro, or I want a remaster of Spyro?
A long fucking time.
I mean, they were definitely some very beloved games for years.
Yeah, and that and the way Activision treats them after they put them in that Skylander thing, that was just fucking wrong. They kind of just put them in there and forgot about them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did they do to Spyro and the Skylanders thing?
Nothing really. He was like their mascot when it first launched, and
Yeah,
then
it was
you
their
never
selling
really,
deal, yeah.
yeah, and then you never really saw him again.
Yeah.
My son tried to get into that Skylander stuff, like at its peak, and
Oh
I
yeah,
just
fucking
couldn't get into
expensive.
it.
Yeah, me and my wife, we 100%ed one on the Xbox, and it took a lot of fucking money because we had to buy every figurine that they had for it.
Oh, for
And
that season or whatever, huh?
yeah, and every trap.
Dude.
Yeah, and I actually had to, like, the Chaos Trap, I had to actually buy another full game with the pieces in it because you couldn't buy the Chaos Trap separately. It was only dark uh, dark packs. They came with the game, the little base thing, and 4 traps, and the Chaos was in there. So I had to end up spending $100 just so I could get the Chaos Trap.
Jesus.
Yeah, that game was just nothing but a money pit. But I did 100% it on a what's it called?
Xbox?
Xbox. Yeah.
I'd be screenshotting that achievement and fucking sending it to every profile page you possibly could if it cost that much money.
It was quite the money. Yeah, it was quite the money hungry. I never have. I mean, we did it a little by, so it didn't really seem like it added up as much. But then whenever you go to trade them all in, and then you start trying to look at all of them, it's like, oh shit, man, we spent a shit ton of money because the characters were like around $15 to $25 a piece.
So, Heroes of the Storm is dropping support for DirectX 9 and the 32-bit client this summer.
Wait, they still support a 32-bit client?
Yep. Well, there's a bunch of games that do. Shit, Warframe does. But I guess Elite Dangerous did the same thing last year, and at that time they said that 0.01% of players would be affected. So I'm guessing it's about that time where just about everybody has a 64-bit PC these days.
I don't think I've even seen like places like Walmart sell a 32-bit PC in quite some time.
No, yeah, they haven't sold 32-bit processors for, it's been years.
Wait, what was that that Disney spin-off of Skylanders?
Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that closed down too. That was actually not. That was a little bit weirder than the Skyland.
You figure if any of those types of games would have made it, it would have been the Disney one because they got.
You would have
Marvel
thought because of the characters they have.
Yeah.
I don't know what caused them to actually fail or whatever, but they didn't. I guess their last few games didn't do well, and they announced that Disney Infinity will no longer do the Toys to Life.
They just leave all that shit to Nintendo now with the amiibos.
Yeah, and I think Skylanders might actually be done after this past one that they did, because they didn't release one this past year, and they just keep adding content to the one before it. So I think they might be done with either done or taking a break in between to where people have a little bit more time to recuperate their wallets.
Oh,
which
shit.
isn't a bad thing.
Oh, man, he might have trolled us after all. It looks like Chris Cobra is actually Stonesy, and he said he might be willing to join us.
Okay, now I missed it. Why?
Chris Cobra is saying he'll join, and he's Stonesy. So if this is true, man, he trolled the shit out of us.
Yeah, we're in trouble like that. Shit. Is he in the audience?
No.
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 I don't think Chris was actually Stonesy.
Oh no, I know he's not Stonesy.
Rambo plays on.
But it's funny how Rip knows that Chris isn't Stonesy.
Yeah, maybe I'm Stonesy. Now I be talking like this.
How could you possibly know that, Rip, if you're not Stonesy?
Good day, madam. Have some scones and tea.
Scones. I thought it was crumpets.
Crumpets and tea, whatever.
Biscuits?
I'm learning as we go.
Fish and chips?
We have to ask my sister. You have a fag? You have a fag I can smoke?
That's gotta
You
be
got
so
5
like
fags.
embarrassing to ask for a
Yeah.
cigarette over there.
Like, you got 5 fags. Like, what?
If someone asked me for a cigarette over there, I'd be like, "Excuse the fuck out of you! What are you talking about?"
It's a smoke. Yes, I will give you a smoke if you ask me for a smoke.
Like,
Ask me for a fag one
I-
more time and see what happens.
Like, I don't walk around with fags, so I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ugh.
Geographically insensitive much? Or seriously? I don't give a fuck about people anywhere else other than the U.S.
We're America.
I
I
barely
don't
give a
give
fuck
a
about the people in
fuck.
my house.
Yeah, let alone the people across overseas.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are people 20 feet from me that I don't give a flying no.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, he did sound quite southern with that accent. It's kind of a
You could be
mix.
like a
It was UK / southern drawl.
It was the Scottish in me. Or the Yorks or whatever. I don't know. They have too many fucking dialects up there.
Yes.
Go Get already sounds like he's from the UK. So
Whatever that the cheap rundown white trash dialect, that's what I was trying to go for. Because
they
that's
don't
more
call
like
it trash in the UK. It's rubbish.
Oh yeah, the white rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only fucking place in the world that can make trash sound like classy.
Mhm.
Did you just watch that Comedy Central special on Netflix?
Yep.
Yeah. I just watched that last night too.
Oh well, see how that's it. Those that's the people. Go Get. Oh yeah, London now though has a higher murder than New York.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
shit.
Yeah, so but at least guess what? At least they don't get mass murdered.
Mass shootings.
Mass shootings, yeah.
Because they do get trucks of peace.
It's insane that they want to preach to us about how safe it is there because they don't have mass shootings, but they have a murder rate that's higher than one of our fucking cities here in America.
One of our most violent cities.
Yeah.
Yep. With only 21 registered legal guns in the whole city. And yet somehow they still
Most violent.
have more murders. Yeah.
Very odd.
And that's with them trying to ban knives now too. They've already banned they've already banned all the scary looking knives.
Oh yeah, the assault looking knives.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the weird, like, kind of sort of fantasy ones that you can usually get at like a flea market or whatever.
As long as they look like they're for butter, they're good.
Well, even then, dude, you have to be 18 to buy a plastic butter knife.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, swear to God. And they check your ID and fucking everything. Yeah.
But London is great, guys.
You could buy butterfly knives over there that are made by Play School, so I guess it's pretty good. Yeah.
Seriously though, I had a picture of the fucking it was like baskets in a shelf for the store, and it was plastic forks and then plastic spoons and then plastic knives, but then under the plastic knives it had a big old card and it was just like you must be 21 to buy alcohol. Yeah. Fucking,
Wow.
I couldn't fucking believe it, dude.
Like, you might be hungry, but I don't give a shit as long as you're not 21.
Better not need mayo
You
on
let-
that sandwich, schoolboy.
Yeah. You'll be eating with your fucking hands.
Bye. Number 6.
See you later, bud.
You can carry a katana or
Yeah,
fucking sword or whatever in
they
Texas.
legalize carrying swords. Yeah. It's like nobody gets killed by a sword.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anybody. I doubt you'll see very many people like open carrying a sword.
Dude, Texas is like a mask and a cape away from being a real life Batman movie. You can carry anything there.
It's fucking Gotham City.
Really? I mean, they just need some more skyscrapers and a mass vigilante, and they're good to go.
Any volunteers? We got anybody from Texas here?
I think Cyrus is from Texas. He can go down there.
Cyrus would make a good masked that vigilante.
Yeah.
No one would be able to tell it's him.
No, of course not. No.
Oh, well, it's midnight.
Well, it's 2:00.
For
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I can tell y'all the next 2 hours are gonna suck.
for the normal people who have the right times on their clocks.
Oh yeah.
It's midnight. So we have been, I think that's
4 hours, I think.
not quite, because it was like 8:20 when we started.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
Around.
shy of 4 hours.
Yeah.
So seems like a good enough place to stop.
Yeah. I'm good.
So thanks everybody for watching. Great having you.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see you on Friday.
Friday it
Laters.
is.
Peace out.